host the nation's first ever Supertri League event, kicking off Season 7, featuring 4 massive rounds across North America and Europe, culminating in the grand final in Toulouse, France on October 5th. Can't wait for that. 32 of the very best in the world at each event, all part of 4 teams vying for Supertri's huge prize pool. The question now is, who are these teams and which one should you pick?
Olympic legend Jonny Brownlee leads Brownlee Racing, a deep squad of next-gen Brit talent. And they have 2 big uns. Reigning gold medalist Alex Yee returns to triathlon after his 2:11 London Marathon. And they've lured 2-time winning manager Tim Don over from Podium Racing. If you're a Brit, this is your team. Second last year and still reeling from the messy breakup with the Don, Podium Racing owner John Anthony and his dual team captains, Kenji Nona and Jan Laher, have one purpose in 2025, show them all. And they'll do that by targeting discipline points with swim and run big hitters in the ranks. America likes to be number 1, and while the focus is building stars for LA 2028, the pressure is on for Stars and Stripes after underperforming the last 2 years. Manager Parker Spencer has bolstered his list with international flavour, but this is still a very red, white and blue-blooded squad. They'll all be chasing the reigning champs, the winning machine Crown Racing. Stacked in the women's, led by the 3 times champion Georgia Taylor-Brown and Olympic and world champion Cassandre Beaugrand. They will be hard to beat. The men, a new look, and the pressure of expectation is high. So pick a side and strap in. The season starts now.
That's it, it's time to choose a side and to buckle in for some brutal racing here in the humid heat of the Canadian summer. It's a brand new course and some really unique elements as well. And to take us through it ahead of this one, Stars and Stripes manager and USA Tri-Olympic Coach of the Year, Parker Spencer.
Here in Toronto, the course is flat, no wind, and no current, which means that the only focus is getting to the first buoy as fast as you can. That's why the inside line is going to be the fastest. This is a unique swim for Supertri, where you win the short shoot at the swim exit. Athletes will also have to put shoes on as they run to T1. Positioning into the bridge is also going to be key. This bridge may be steep, it may be narrow, but that won't stop the athletes as they fight for position into T1. Typical Supertri courses are very tight and technical. Here in Toronto, it's the opposite. It's very wide, which means this is one of the fastest courses on the circuit this season. In triathlon, it always comes down to the run. On stages 1 and stages 2, it's 1 lap. On stage 3, it's 2 laps with the all-important short shoot. I'll be giving it to the athletes on Stars and Stripes that have the best chance to win.
Right, so that's the teams and that's the course, and now to the format. Something different for Toronto, a throwback to the very first Supertri 8 years ago. It's the Eliminator. 3 stages of a 300-metre swim, a 4K bike and a 1K run, 2Ks in the last stage, with a 6-minute break in between. Finish at the bottom 2 at the end of each stage, or 90 seconds behind the leader after any lap, and you are eliminated. There are 3 short shoots available to be earned in the opening stage, a shortcut to be taken on the last run, and they're won by the leading athlete at the end of the first swim, bike and run. So there's lots to think about. There's lots to play for, but at the core of it is full-on racing, and it is so good to be back.
This weekend will be the first race of the series, and I think there's a lot of excitement with this year's team on Stars and Stripes. We have a lot stronger team this year, and I think we shouldn't be the underdogs anymore.
We have most of the people of last year and some little news, and including some people who never raced Supertri. I think we just build from here and fully to the top.
It's the first Supertri of the season, so everyone's really ready to go. I think everyone's excited. It's a new course, so I think some fast, hard racing with some of the best in the world, and I think it's just going to be an amazing show.
I think we're a really strong team, especially for this first one. We've got a lot of different strong disciplines. I'm quite confident this weekend about our team.
All right, not long now until we get underway, under 5 minutes until the women's race. Let's have a look at how they line up. Crowned the champions last year, their women's lineup is immense. Georgia Taylor-Brown, three-time champion Cassandre Beaugrand, Olympic and world champion Emma Lombardi, 4th at Paris 2024, and the super swim biker Emma Jeffcoat from Australia. Hard to beat. Michael Gilliam, the manager there. Podium racing, a change in the management. John Anthony now the manager, and they have a late in. Sophie Alden jumps in for Victoria Lopez, who is out injured. Look out for Leonie Perriot and Jean Lahair, both winners of big WTCS races lately. And Zuzana Michaliskova as well. The Slovakian has been in some kind of form. Then we go to the Stars and Stripes. Parker Spencer, you just saw him, and Taylor Spivey, one of only 3 athletes to compete in all 7 seasons of Supertri, will be guiding Rosa Tapia. Nina Im and Annika Koch are the 2 German pairs who lend a little bit of international flavour to the very red, white and blue team under Parker Spencer as they build to LA 2028. And finally, having finished last year, but with a new in the manager, Tim Don, coming over from Podium Racing. Jess Fulliger and Liv Matthias have all of the experience. Both finished in the top 10 last year. Jolien Vermeulen, the Belgian, who's had some great results recently, joins for a debut here, as does Tilly Anima. Let's head down now to Adam Leach, is with Tim Don.
Tim, here we are, a new season, a new venue, a different format, 10 debutants. What can we expect today?
I don't know. I mean, it's a new course. It's a very nice course. The bike flows really well. We've obviously got this X factor from the swim to T1 where everyone has to put on their trainers to get over the wooden bridge. Got a short run and a slightly longer run. 10 new athletes across the board, and you know, there's some real young talent there, real young guns. So I'm really excited to see how they perform.
And also, Tim, the big news of the off-season was your move from Podium Racing to Brownlee Racing. Can you talk us through that, please?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've built, you know, Podium Racing before then. We were the Eagles, Santantara Tech Eagles, so I've really enjoyed, you know, crafting that team. But the way John was going, he wanted to move in a different direction, and Brownlee Racing, what a name.
Well, thanks very much, Tim. Good luck today.
Thank you.
All right, we have about 30 seconds until we get underway. There's a bit of animosity, actually, between the move from Podium to Brownlee, but Tim Don's talking it down. Brownlee getting the inside run to the first buoy. It'll be 2 left-hand turns and then back for 1 more left-hand turns and up the ramp. Only 300 metres in the swim. Look for Brownlee to really hit that first buoy first. The longest way to the first buoy, Crown Racing, which is on the left-hand side of your screen. Michael Thompson, the race director, about to call it. We get underway for 2025, and we are in the water alongside me for this one. Former world #1 duathlete, always alongside me now. Annie Emerson is here, and a fast start down the bottom from Cassandre Beaugrand. She's leading in the red there, and in the middle as well, one of the podium athletes.
Well, this is going to be a super exciting swim. It really is. 300 metres. We heard Tim Don talking about the inside lane being so important because it's all out to the first buoy. Look out for Michalikova, the young Zuzana Michalikova from Slovakia. Recently took a silver medal in the Sprint European Championships. She, to me, looks like the one that's out in front at the moment. Other athletes, I think, to look out for. Tilly Anima as well, a great swimmer. Swam competitively till she was 17. So let's keep an eye out for the young athlete racing with Tim Don and Brownlee Racing.
Yeah, let's talk us through this as you know, you've done this so many times, Annie, as they come into the first buoy. Positioning is so important because if you're stuck behind, yes, on the straight you have a nice little bit of drag, but when you hit that first buoy and everyone starts to come together, there's a real washing machine effect. So being out front, not so bad when you've got just about 140 metre sprint out.
Well, it's a place that we'd like to be, wouldn't it? Will, out in front, but you're absolutely right. It's so important to reach that first buoy out in front because we can have a look at the athletes all fighting for positions from behind, but our 2 leaders smoothly around that buoy.
Yeah, and you just saw, even though Cassandre Beaugrand had such a good start, she actually turned in about 5th position, so 5th feet, so it just shows that it's a little bit harder when you're on the inside or the outside line. We'll head back down now to Adam Leach, who's got Tim Don.
Tim, you've stayed with us up here on the bridge. Can you talk us through what you're seeing in this first swim?
Well, what a fascinating start. Crown Racing were on the outside and they've got arguably the strongest swim team, but they just didn't have an impact because they were so wide. We had Susanna from Podium Racing cut a direct line and you could see the Podium Racing athletes line up behind her, but that inside line was crucial for Brownlee Racing. They've got 3 in the top 4. So at the moment you can see they're still quite tight, but those Crown Racing have really pushed themselves wide. Very interesting.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, they're heading back down towards what will be the last left-hand turn and up the ramp. Just a reminder of the format as well. You can see it's split up, so it's not the Supertri format here. It is the Eliminator, which means there'll be a 6-minute break in between each set of swim, bike and run. And the last swim will start on a pursuit start. So every second counts here in the first 2 stages to earn time for the pursuit start. And I think that is Tilly Anima out front. And behind is another Brownlee athlete, I think Liv Matthias. And all Brownlee athletes are positioned well. So it just shows, especially the men will be watching this and going, the right place to be is on the far left of the pontoon.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. We can see the damage that is being done. And we've got to guess a little bit at the moment, but I think you are right. I think it's Tilly Anima out there and Olivia Matthias leading the Brownlee team by the looks of things. A couple of the other ones got left slightly behind. But Crown Racing has some immense swimmers, it really does. Georgia Taylor-Brown, Cassandre Beaugrand, Emma Lombardi and Emma Jeffcoat, a former surf lifesaver, have got a little bit left behind. And we can just have a look. Is that Jeffcoat?
It is there,
just
the first
coming
in the red.
through. It is the first Crown athlete to hit this second buoy.
All right, the short shoot, which is a little shortcut you can take in the last run, is earned by the first athlete or the team of the first athlete that goes up the ramp, and it is going to be Brownlee Racing, which means Tim Don is going to have a short shoot in his pocket that he can give to anyone in his team, and that decision has to be made on the second bike. So depending on who is in striking distance. So Anima comes out of the water and she earns that for her team. That would have been the job. That was been what was asked of her. Now she has to put her shoes on now to head into transition. So this is another little wrinkle. Jeffcoat out of the water, then Fulliger. The first Stars and Stripes and Taylor Spivey out there as well. There's Beaugrand mid-pack. Lombardi back at the back of the pack as well. And you can see all the names come through there. So Jean Lahaire and Taylor Brown, 16 seconds down. Both multiple race winners in this format. So it has been fast and furious to start. And some of the big names are down the back here, and including 3 of the 4 Crown athletes, a team that has the reigning championship coming in. 2 of them, Taylor Brown and Beaugrand, are in the back.
It's absolutely fascinating to watch, but it just goes to prove how important getting that right line and the right position on the pontoon. But we also know that's a bit random too.
Well, it just shows you how good Jeffcoat's swim was as well, because she was there with the rest of the Crown athletes who are all Olympic medalists, or just about, with Lombardi finishing 4th, and she's there in 5th position overall. So a great swim by the Australian. Now we come into transition, and on go the helmets, clipped up first. We've seen athletes fall foul of that before. And in the, I guess, the pressure cooker of getting these transitions right, it's so easy to make a mistake.
Can't you just feel it? I can feel the stress. I mean, the transition is tight. They've done something new today, having to put trainers on when they came out of the swim because the organisers didn't feel it was safe enough for them to run without shoes up and down those wooden, wet, slippery stairs. And I think, you know, that is going to break up this pack, but there's still a long way to go. It's Olivia Matthias that's out in front at the moment.
Yeah, these 2 were stuck together last year, Matthias and Fulliger. They were always fighting, and Matthias got better and better as the racing went on. She really started to come into her own and finish 7th overall in the end. But she's gotten stronger and stronger at this racing. Finished 9th in Neon, but 6th in London last year and 4th in Chicago when it was just as hot as it is now. But Brownlee dominating up the front at the moment. Fulliger, Matthias, Tappier's had a good start to the race as well. Adam is still in there, and so it's 4 Brownlee athletes in the top 6. And all of those athletes from Crown sitting at the back. Taylor Brown as well. Beaugrand, Lombardi.
Yeah, just a little talk through this course. We've heard from the coaches, but it is fast and open and wide now on this stretch. The athletes have 2 points on the course, that little out and back with the tight 180-degree turn, and then when they come into transition that we'll see shortly, that turn comes up really quickly as well. And you need someone like Jess Fulliger on the front because technically she's absolutely ace, Will.
Big gap there between that first group and then the chasing pack of 9. So a group up the front of 7 athletes and a little gap between them as well. So it's about working together. It's only 3 laps as they come onto the black carpet for the first time. Fulliger, Matthias and Tapia out the front. And you look at those ones to watch. Perio's back in the other group. I'm Taylor Brown too, so they need that bike pace as Lahair and I'm lead this chase pack who are trying to track down the athletes up front. Every second counts as they go into the 3rd stage. And of course, 2 athletes will be eliminated at the end of this stage as well. And at the moment, it's Lombardi and Beaugrand, but plenty of time to come. And there's some pretty strong run legs on them. So the gap now 5 seconds between the top 7 and then Lahair and the rest. And Crown are under a bit of pressure, so we'll head down to their manager, Michael Gilliam. He's with Adam.
Michael, this is a start nobody expected. Your star athletes are the last 3 in the race.
Well, we're only 12 from the front.
Watch out for Olivia Mathis if she's up there still. I mean, we are already at the first point.
We're just having a little bit of technical difficulty there. We got to see Michael Gilliam. We didn't quite get to hear him. We'll come back to him as soon as possible. But that gap was a 5 seconds. It might have even dragged out a little bit longer. And those 3 up the front are really setting the pace. So tough little groups, but you know, I guess it doesn't really matter too much when you've only got a 4-kilometre bike. It's just all out. But you want to have some people around you. And 2 groups of 3 or a group of, 2 groups of 3 and then someone on their own, probably not exactly what you want.
No, not exactly, and it's fascinating to watch how this race has got strung out so early on. The run will change things definitely. We just caught Michael Gillian there saying it's only 12 seconds, it's only 12 seconds, but at the moment I think that gap is growing from the front of the race to the Olympic champion Cassandre Beaugrand, who on last count was 15 seconds down, and that's quite a lot to make up over 800 metres, but we do know what an incredible runner she is.
Yeah, that's very true. We're going to get the gaps very soon as well as Anima looks to stay in touch. Tilly Anima off the back and John Lahair meanwhile cutting it from 5 seconds down to 3 seconds, but she's only managed to take Michalichkova with her. Spivey struggling. Taylor Brown still 14 seconds down as she was, and Beaugrand off the back now. The Olympic champion, the world champion, is now currently in 15th position with only Nina Im, who must have had an issue out there that she has now fixed at 30 seconds in arrears because she dropped out of that pack of 9. I'm hearing that there was a crash for Nina Im. It wasn't caught on camera, so we don't know how bad it is, but we think she's back up and in the race still as Jeffcoat hits that apex turn at the far end of the course with plenty of pace as they continue to work together. The group at the front are now back together, and there at the back is Cassandre Beaugrand.
Yeah, always interesting to watch Cassandra race. We can just have a little look now, I think, at a potential replay of that crash. Here it is.
Yep, there is Im coming off on what looks like an easy wide turn, but there's actually a pothole on the inside there, or like a manhole, which the athletes were mentioning yesterday, and it is in that exact spot. So I'm not sure if that was the issue, as already we have moved into transition once again, and we're going to head out on a 1-kilometre run, and then we'll have a 6-minute break to reset. So fast and furious is Super League racing. Great shots there, and the athletes have decided to make the turn first, then dismount. They don't have much room, except for Perio, who decided to dismount first and run it around. These athletes all deciding to do that. So, bit of a split in tactics there. Tapia having a great debut race. Matthias and Fulliger doing it for Brownlee Racing. All clean coming out. And those 3, Perio hunting them though. She ran away from the WTCS field in the last round, and Leonie Perio is one of the great runners in our sport. Taylor Brown out now in a group with Annika Koch, Cassandre Beaugrand with them as well, and Emma Lombardi. Jeffcoat all on her own, dropping off the back there. And we've seen how good Jean Leher can be as well. Now, if you're Jean Leher, I suppose the idea, Annie, and you could tell me because you've been in these positions, is you've got to try and bridge up to the back of that group. And she seems to be stuck in the middle right there at the moment.
Yeah, I think Jean is more than capable. She's such an experienced athlete now, and she'll keep calm. She really will. But really interesting to see how 3 Brownlee others, and that's Jolien Vermeulen just going out now, just recently crowned the sprint European champion with Perriot on her toes.
All right, what we're not seeing up the front there is any stars and stripes. Let's hear from Parker Spencer.
Parker, that looked like a nasty accident there for Nina. She's got a bit of a scar on her face. Can you talk through what happened?
It looks like she went down on the far end of the course on the turnaround. She wasn't too far back from the girls that just got out in front of her. We'll see what she can do. She didn't look too hurt, but just slid out on the corner.
Okay, looks like not too bad, as that 5-second gap that Leonie Perriot had out of transition, she has absolutely erased that, left behind Matthias and Fulliger, and Vermeulen on debut may well lead them in.
Yeah, it's interesting watching her run here. I mean, she's an athlete that's gone from strength to strength. She got one of her best ever World Triathlon Championships races in Hamburg. But is she showing a little bit of inexperience just here right now? So the reason I say that is I just think that this style of racing, you need to somehow maintain a little bit of your rhythm, not go out too hard, because she's going to have a big group of athletes trying to chase her down on the swim. But she's a tough athlete. As I said, she took the European sprint title just over a week ago, and an athlete that's very much on the up. I'm surprised to see Rosa Tapia then. We can just see there, we were talking about Jean Leher coming through the frame. I mean, she's such a talent. She's won these races before. She knows what she's got to do here right now.
All right, the second short shoot for the bike went, of course, to Brownlee Racing as well, as they continue to the front of this race. And whoever runs across the line here at the end will take the last short shoot. It's going to be a Brownlee clean sweep. And Vermeulen leads the first one. Perriot crosses the line, immediately goes to get set for the second round. 3 Brownlee athletes in the top 4. This is the team that came last year. And in fact, between Podium and Brownlee, they've locked out the top 5 spots. All the Crown athletes finish in a bit of a rush. Spivey behind them, Annika Koch as well. Anima did her job out the swim and got the first short shoot. Michalichkova finishes in 14th position and eliminated the last 2 to cross the line, and that is always just the most heartbreaking thing. Sophie Alden is one of them, and Nina Im, who did her best to catch back up, but after that crash, couldn't do it. And Alden, who was a late draft in for Podium Racing, is out. Im is out. And after 14 minutes of racing, that is Toronto done for them.
What an immense first stage, Will. I'm blown away. I can hardly keep up with it. What is interesting there, though, is let's just talk ahead maybe to the pursuit start in the 3rd stage. So Crown Racing are way down the field, and Jolien Vermeulen has given herself a 15 seconds buffer already.
That is true. As they say, it all counts now, but the experience of Taylor Brown, Beaugrand, Lombardi, etc. might just come in. We'll head back down now to Adam Leach.
Quick transition. The team managers can help.
Jolien, what an incredible start for you on your Supertri debut. Talk us through that one.
Yeah, that's very nice and very short, but I don't know if this was a good idea. I think we will see it in the next few races.
Well, what do you find this format like? I mean, how fast and furious is it?
I love it. It's so, like, every detail needs to be right, and I just love what it is. Yeah.
And what's the tactics for the next stage? Are you going to try and take this one a little bit easier, or are you going to go full gas throughout?
I think I'm going to feel during the stage what it feels like. Yeah, just see what it gives. I never did it before, so just
good.
Try.
Good luck.
Thank you. I will need it, I think.
Well, she's still getting the 1%ers right, putting the baby powder in the shoes so they slip on nice and easily and not too bad in the wet. But you're right, you called it. She's like, well, maybe I burnt a little bit too many matches there. She took a leaf out of the old Christian Blumenfeld book and gone completely nuts on the first one. So interesting there, and now it's going to be interesting to see how they reset, Annie.
Oh, wow. What a breath of fresh air. I absolutely love the recently crowned European sprint champion. What an amazing debut so far. But as she suggested herself, maybe she's gone a little too hard, a little too early. But I tell you what, she's in the form of her life. So right now, I wouldn't put anything behind her.
That's true. Leonie Perriot with a big run there. So putting her, like if she's going to go head-to-head with the other big guns like Beaugrand and Leher, she's taken the first blood, I suppose, in that battle between the big ones as they continue to head down, back down now to the swim start to do it all again, which is exactly why we love it here at Supertri. Clouding over here, but it is very, very humid, and we're looking at lightning, thunder and rain coming during the men's race, which is not too far away either. And we'll look back at how the short shoots were won, and they were all won by Tim Don's team in blue. Tilly Anima, the youngster, the under-23 athlete from Norwich, in her debut, comes out of the water first, crosses that line up the ramp, and therefore takes the first short shoot for Brownlee. The second one comes after transition and onto the run. Jess Fulliger takes short shoot number 2. And then they do it again. Jolyon Vermeulen with the kick. Perriot's done this before. She just sits in. She knows she hasn't lost too much in the pursuit start. Vermeulen takes the third. That means there is only one short shoot available for Brownlee, but they have denied any other team from taking one as well. So Tim Don will be happy to have that stuck in his back pocket. And that's when they crossed. We get ready to go again for stage 2, and this is when things start to get really hairy. The other thing that we haven't really touched on too much at the moment, Annie, is the 90-second rule, because not only do 2 athletes get eliminated at the end of this stage, but anyone that falls further down the back from the leader more than 90 seconds, and we already saw 30, will get eliminated as well. We'll head back down to Adam now with Nina Im.
Nina, this sport can be so cruel. Can you just talk us through what happened there?
Yes, of course, I wanted to chase the front, and yeah, of course, I took a risk to be as fast as possible on the course, and yeah, the road was really slippery, and in one corner I slipped away. Yeah, so sad to be eliminated so soon in the race, but at least I was able to finish stage 1, and yeah, my body feels fine, but of course I'm disappointed to be out of the race so soon.
She looks okay, but obviously incredibly disappointed. And in Supertri, if you are not living life on the edge, then you are not putting yourself in a position. And Jolyon Vermeulen certainly did that. 13:42 in the end, and that is not a bad time at all. Leonie Perriot second. Brownlee will be very happy, and so will John Anthony from Podium as they locked out the top 5 from Rosa Tapia. Work to do for Georgia Taylor-Brown, Taylor Spivey, who were both favourites coming into this one, and the eliminated athletes Alden and Im. So, after all that, you think 6 minutes is a long time. We've got 20 seconds until we start again. There's a few gaps now in this 14-strong group who will be taking it on. So we've lost 1 Stars and Stripes athlete, 1 Podium athlete as well. And it's another swim, bike and run, and another 2 eliminated. Let's get it underway. Very fast start from the Brownlee athlete. We'll wait to hear whether that one was a little early.
Or on the left-hand side there, one of the Brownlee athletes looked to me to go ahead of the gun, and we know how tight and strict Tomo is, the race ref, on the rules in this sport in Supertri. He wants to make it fair for everyone.
Again, another split. This happened in the first swim as well. Beaugrand went out really wide and took the crown athletes wide with her, and she's done the same thing in this swim, so that there's really not long enough of a swim before the first buoy to have like 2 arrowheads form. But that is exactly what happened in the first one, and then they end up coming in kind of mid-pack. The only one who didn't go with them is Jeffcoat, and she was the one who had the best swim. And here comes Beaugrand coming back across, but last time she came back across in about 5 feet. So again, out the front, this time Anima again.
Yeah, that's really interesting to see what she's done there, because she's repeated what she did in the beginning. I mean, we know what she's capable of. She's an absolute incredible triathlete, but, you know, she has no weakness. She's so strong on the swim, and we can see her now just swimming up onto the shoulder of the second-place athlete. Jeffco, I would have gone with her, actually. We can see her there right in the middle of the pack as they come to this first buoy. And it's Anima who comes around first.
Yeah, as you say, Anima still finding her way in the sport, making her debut in Super League. Has racing actually a fair bit. No, that's just the ones to watch. That is Anima, but and behind again, I think is Matthias, and then Beaugrand this time is fighting for position in second place there. Jeffcoat then behind those pair, and then I think Taylor Brown on your left. And then behind them, one of the podium athletes, and then it's a bit of a washing machine as they hit the second one and head back down towards. But Anima certainly showing, and she would have been told by Tim Don, go out there, win us the short shoot, have good swims, and then dig in the second stage and do what you can.
They've got quite similar strokes, haven't they, the two athletes from Brownlee Racing. And Tim Don, interesting to see, working his magic again on the team that he is the manager of. He's won twice before with the Eagles and Podium Racing. And at the moment, it's looking like a great start for the 2025 season for Tim Don and Brownlee Racing. He's
a four-time world champion himself. He leaves no stone unturned whatsoever, and he is more attentive than just about anyone, Tim Don. Certainly showing with the short shoot going into his pocket, and he'll have to make that decision in the next 5 minutes as to who gets that. And you'd think it's got to be out of Jess Fulliger or Liv Matthias.
I think I'd give it to Liv. It's a difficult one. I mean, Jess Fulliger has done so much work on the bike, as I've seen her in so many races. She has such a brilliant swim-bike combination. But you have to say, Olivia is in such great form. She's achieved a lifetime best as a podium finisher in the World Triathlon Champion Series this race. And I think she's a very much in-form athlete in podium racing. Jessica Fulliger, a fantastic athlete, but lacks a little bit still on the run. So perhaps Tim will be wanting to give it to the athlete that he believes can take the gold medal at the end.
Well, Matthias currently has a 5-second deficit to the lead, and Fulliger 9 seconds, which doesn't seem like much, but in this racing it really is. And now you can see Beaugrand on the left, Jeffcoat on the right. Both of them are chasing the pair of Anima and Matthias, and then behind them I think that's Jean Lehair, who's having a good swim as well. Georgia Taylor-Brown on the feet of Cassandre Beaugrand. And this time a better swim from the Crown athletes, and they're going to need it too, with big gaps back to them. So Beaugrand 15 seconds back, Lombardi 15 seconds back, Jeffcoat 15, Taylor Brown 15. Back from our leader Jolien Vermeulen, who maybe burnt a little bit too much in the first stage. We're going to find out over the course of the next 10 minutes or so. But Brownlee again first out of the water. Anima on debut, showing what she's made of here in Toronto, and again chased out by Matthias. Again, the shoes go on. Some of them have got multiple pairs of shoes. Some of them have just got the one pair they're bringing back down. There's Tapia mid-pack, Spivey, Perriot, Lombardi. But the old running with the swim cap on, well, there's nowhere else you'll see it. But right here at Supertri, Beaugrand third this time. She's had a good transition to put the shoes on. Jeffcoat and Taylor Brown head up there together. There's Vermeulen in the middle of the pack. Perriot sitting there too, and Lehair. And there's Annika Koch all on her own. And she'll need to have a good run up into T1 if she's going to make any sort of a bike pack or get left out there on her own. Beaugrand kicking into gear now.
Yeah, she certainly is. I mean, it's interesting to watch how some of these athletes will warm into the racing. Looking at Georgia Taylor-Brown as well, who's made up a bit of time as well. Not as far down as she was in the first swim. But Cassandre Beaugrand is an interesting one. She lets them go ahead a bit and gradually gets warmed up and then reels them in. So it's going to be interesting to see what she's got on this bike leg as she comes to her bike now. And it's all about this transition. We've seen so many races won and lost in transition. But this is a smooth one for Cassandre Beaugrand.
Yeah, she's got the golden bike, and why not? She's the world champion for 2024, Olympic champion at home in 2024 as well. We know she competes well under pressure now. A question mark in years past, but that is gone. And Koch is doing her best to stick to that group, whereas Beaugrand is out the front, and she's got Anima and Matthias with her, and Tapia Vidal has had a very good transition to move herself up from about 8th to 4th spot. And Koch has actually overtaken, I think, Jean Lehair, who's had a tardy transition, and she's now at the back of the pack. A race winner from last year. She's struggling to come in, so she's had an issue there in transition. Jean Leher for podium racing. And a group of 5 at the front and a couple of seconds back. And that's Vermeulen who's leading that chase pack, so she's still got the legs at this point.
Yeah, but I think the advantage that Liv has here, and Cassandra and GTB, even Jessica, is that they've raced this before. They know what it feels like. And it's about measuring your energy. They are in the red, but somehow you have to measure a bit of energy. And is it possible, as we just see, it's Leher there just trying to get back onto this group. Is it possible that she has burnt too much energy in that last 800 meters in the last stage on the run?
Oh, yeah, I think there must have been some kind of a situation as the Stars and Stripes pairing of, I think that's Koch and, I'm not sure who the other one was there.
You can see the pace is really on here as they're strung out down the road well. They really are all in single file, and the pace is really on at the moment.
It is Nina Eimfeld foul. We hope everyone else makes it through. 2 more laps on the bike to come.
Wow,
Fulliger and Matthias at the front. These two just great bike handling skills, such strong bikers. We saw it last year as well. They kept rising to the top during the bike legs. And if only the bike legs were a little bit longer, then they have to hold on and hold off the runs of the fast finishers like Perriot, Beaugrand and Taylor Brown, who's taken some time out of racing in 2025. Only came back a couple of weeks ago, finished 13th. WTCS Hamburg, and then posted on Instagram, see, I told you, even I, if I don't train, will not go well. So we'll see after this one. She's obviously doing another long distance race in a couple of weeks before Chicago, so trying to jam all the races into the second half of the season, the 3-time champion. And one person that we haven't heard from just yet is podium manager John Anthony. He is with Adam right now as his athletes have mixed fortunes.
John, you've got Jean Leher, one of the favourites for this race and this series off the back here. I mean, is this a bit worrying for you?
No, I'm not really worried. Look, a lot of stuff is unfolding very quickly between stage 1 and stage 2. However, Jean is a veteran. She understands this sport, and she'll be able to respond appropriately. I'm not worried.
That's what you want, isn't it? Not worried at all. And to be fair, she's halved that gap between the back of the pack and herself in that last lap. But she's still seeing these athletes out the front pushing, and Taylor Brown slotted herself back up there into about 5th wheel along with Lombardi. So those crown athletes who we've talked so much about in the lead-up, they've got a really strong women's team on paper, but they obviously have to deliver, are starting to move more towards the front. As we see the back markers come through on that one as the drone, which is such a good shot, follows our athletes as they head towards the back end of the second lap here in Toronto.
Quite stoic, wasn't he, John Anthony, the team manager from Podium Racing? It's been interesting times for him, having lost Tim Don. I wonder what he's feeling right now at the moment with Brownlee Racing looking very, very strong indeed. Early stages or early days here in this racing. There's still a stage and a half to go.
All right, our stage 1 winner, Jolien Vermeulen, 6 seconds down. So as it stands, Beaugrand, Taylor Brown and Lombardi have taken back they're now between 11 and 12 seconds in arrears for our pursuit start, and they'll be looking to run more time into Vermeulen. It's Perriot as well who needs to watch those crown athletes and make sure the gap doesn't get too big. Leher has tacked onto the back, and we're going to see who the short shoot was given to, and it's actually been given to Jolien Vermeulen, and that's an interesting one. And you know what, fair enough too. She's the one who put a lot in to finish stage 1 on top. So we'll just see whether she's got the legs to finish well in this one and put herself into position to use that short shoot to maybe hunt a debut podium.
And you know what, I'm never going to argue with Tim Don, because that man knows how to manage a team. You mentioned earlier, 4 times world champion, so much experience as an athlete, but he absolutely loves managing teams. And if he thinks it's right to give to the young Belgium athlete, well, then we're not going to argue with him, are we?
No, and obviously she said that to us, that maybe she went too hard, but Tim would have asked her, how are you feeling? Are you ready for this one? Thinking about the short shoot? He's got 2 really dependable athletes in Fulliger and Matthias. But he's got this X factor as Anima looks to stay onto the back of this pack. She came out of the water first. She's about 10 seconds back from the leaders on this one and really needs to hold that wheel, but they are coming into transition now. And again, it's Fulliger and Matthias on the front. And again, some athletes want to turn the corner, some athletes want to walk it around. And everyone wants to get through cleanly. Brownlee closest to the dismount line because they finished 4th last year.
So one thing for sure is Georgia Taylor-Brown is not going to be lacking endurance. She might slightly lack the speed. She was telling me yesterday how she's been doing a lot of 6-hour rides. She's done a lot of long gravel races as well on the bike. So she'll have plenty of endurance. And at the moment, running herself back into this Jeffcoat as well. Still up there. So great to see the Australian back racing, isn't it?
She's in danger, though, of being eliminated. It was alongside her, Taylor Spivey as well, and Tilly Anima. And it looks like Jeffcoat and Anima are right now sitting at the back. Now, Jeffcoat's not necessarily known for having a super quick run. Spivey's gone past her, and Michalichkova is 4th last. So we will see exactly how that one plays out. We're going to head back down now to Tim Don, who's seeing 3 of his athletes stuck together in the top 6.
Tim, what a lovely decision you had to make there, but you've given it to Jolien. She seems really, really confident. Can you talk us through the decision, please?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, she won the first race. She's running very well. I always think it's important to start the Supertri series on the front foot. The team are really doing that, and if we can really fight for that win against an Olympic champion in Cassandre Beaugrand, that'll be great to take one over on Crown, but it's still a lot of work to do.
Just as we were listening to Tim Don, he was proved right as Vermeulen ran past Georgia Taylor-Brown and is the lead Brownlee athlete and the only one managing to hang on to the French pair of Beaugrand, in fact, the French trio of Beaugrand, Perriot and Lombardi, who at the moment are controlling the front of this race. There is Lahair, and here's the battle for the back. I think Jeffcoat is behind them as well. So 2 athletes to be eliminated, plus any athlete that falls further than 90 seconds back. Vermeulen, though, she looks good. She looks no different than she did in stage 1. And speaking of looking good, Beaugrand looks like she always does when she's starting to get locked into a race.
Vermeulen, what a gutsy effort, though, from her. I love watching her race. I mean, she's suffering, but, you know, she's hanging on in there. I think we've got to mention, Will, too, that it's hot out there. It's really hot and steamy, and there's a real accumulation of body heat as well. So as the rounds go round, you do have the water to cool you off, but once you get back onto the bike there, and we're just having a look at Jeffcoat, who knows the inevitable is going to happen, and she's going to see that red flag of Tomo, our race ref, at the end of this run.
Big gaps, though. Big gaps. So we're going to see big gaps in the pursuit start as the cream start to rise to the top. And it is 2 people who are accustomed to winning, Beaugrand, Perriot. And Perriot is going to be out first, you would think, then in the pursuit start. Vermeulen won't be too far behind her. Georgia Brown tacked on. Lahair's had a great run and run past about 8 different athletes. Matthias and Fullig are faded. Cox stayed in there. And Spivey's not having the race she wants. She finishes the line across the line with Tilly Anima. And eliminated is Rosa Tapia, who had such a good stage and a half, but couldn't hold on. And now the weight, and there'll be a wry smile from Emma Jeffcoat, who just couldn't quite hold on to the back. And there's the smile. Doesn't worry too much. Looks for the high five as well from Michael Thompson, a fellow Australian. And that's the end of her day after 2 stages. And she won't be too worried because it is hot out there.
Oh, she's such a positive force, though, within the women's racing. She really is a trained nurse. She's been out with injury on and off for a long time. So just great to see her back racing and watching the athletes now. Just anyone tuning in, not familiar with this, watching Georgia Taylor-Brown putting the elastic bands onto her shoes, attached to the bike so that the pedals and shoes don't swing around when they go for that quick transition after the swim.
Yeah, those are the little seconds that matters. A gel for Emma Lombardi taking on for stage 3, one for Michalikova as well.
I'll tell you what, Leonie Perriot is looking good. She is looking really good. Her swim has definitely moved up a notch or 2 since last year.
Yeah, very true. Now, Adam Leach is going to do his best to get a word with the winner of stage 2, Cassandre Beaugrand.
Cassandra, slightly tricky first stage.
English. Emma, thank you so much.
How are you feeling after that one?
Great, amazing.
Wow, what a fantastic opening.
No time.
MG.
No time.
MG. How do you think Cassandra's shaping up here now?
She's fine. She's fine. It's all good at the moment. With those first 2 races, we just cruised. Now the race is on. So even this part is a race. Double transition. It's starting to show what it can do to you. You're seeing a few of them will be in a bit of trouble this time round. They went too hard in the first one. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Beaugrand needing to get ready, and fair enough. We are now into the business end of things as they head back down now to the swim for the last time for the women, and the men coming up very, very soon.
Until round 3 in the grand finale gets underway.
Big crowd in, and obviously Supertri partnering with the Toronto Triathlon Festival to bring another Buy Supertri event. So a lot of athletes down here picking up their race packets for tomorrow. One of the great urban triathlons here in Canada, the Toronto Triathlon Festival, and unfortunately I'm going to be racing in it, which I don't want to do, having a look at all of the pain that is going on right now for these athletes. And the ones that have been here before and done it before, they're the ones who are the most organised and down the steps, the veterans. Let's have a look at the results then as it stands. After stage 2, Leonie Perriot will be first into the water. Vermeulen on debut is having some kind of race. Those two are going to have a nice little swim before Beaugrand, Matthias, Lombardi, Taylor Brown and Lahair chase them down. The eliminated athletes, Mihalichkova and Jeffcoat. Tilly Anima will have to have another big swim if she is going to tag on to a group, including Spivey, who's probably had a disappointing race from her standards. All right, take a quick breath and then we head in to stage 3 and we'll look back at who won the short shoots in the initial swimming, and it was Tilly Anima who did the job there. First off for Brownlee Racing, which is why they got the first short shoot, which is the shortcut you can see there in the back of shot that only Jolien Vermeulen will be able to take on the first run. She was the one that got handed that one. Now in the second stage, it was Cassandre Beaugrand, and Leonie Perriot made sure that she was going to take the maximum advantage in the pursuit start against Beaugrand, and then Lombardi, and there is Vermeulen who will lead out with Leonie Perriot.
I'll give you one. We got one more also.
Okay. Annie Emerson. I just want to say that I picked Leonie Perriot before this when you asked me, did I not? And now I feel good about my pick because she is about to take off first in our pursuit start.
Yeah, you should be feeling good. I think that was a good call, actually, Will. I really do. But let's not discount Vermeulen, because I tell you what, she is hardcore when it comes to the back end of racing. She really is.
Yeah, they say it's a young person sport, but she's on the north side of 30 only just, but late to make a debut at this stage. But she's showing that she's got the experience to do it.
I think they're saying Simon Whitfield.
Okay, we'll look back, and this is actually how the short shoots were won. This is in the first stage. Tilly Anima came out of the water first. She's had 2 fantastic swims, and they won the first short shoot. And then the focus for Brownlee Racing turned to making sure that no other team could pick up a short shoot as well. And Jess Fulliger delivered that one for the first one. Liv Matthias wasn't too far behind either. She would have done the job anyway, ahead of Rosa Tapia and Leonie Perriot. Had a great run in that one. There was Vermeulen as well. And then Vermeulen ended up running past everyone to finish stage 1, picking up the final short shoot and making sure that Brownlee was the only team that was going to have the opportunity to use that little tactical wrinkle for the team. So Tim Don very happy with that, giving it to Vermeulen. She'll take that on the only time they come through on the 2-lap run. So the difference between stage 1 and 2 and this final stage in the pursuit start is A, it's a pursuit start, but B, there is 2 laps on the run. So 300-meter swim, then a 4K bike and a 2-kilometer run. We are about to start the pursuit start, and it will be first into the water. Leonie Perriot, 3 seconds later, Jolien Vermeulen, and then Beaugrand has to wait a further 11 seconds before she is allowed in the water. First across the line is the winner in this one of Supertri Toronto. Beaugrand, Matthias, Lombardi, 3 seconds back. Taylor Brown in the water, then Fulliger, then another 7 seconds And Annika Koch will be swimming all on her own until Spivey, who's a great swimmer, might be able to tag onto the back of her feet. But it's heartbreaking, isn't it, Annie, watching these other athletes disappear in front of you?
It's amazing how slowly that clock clicks down, isn't it? It really is. But watching Cassandre Beaugrand in third place there, she is really hammering this first part of the swim. And interesting to see Leonie Perriot there. She's just about being caught by Vermeulen at the moment. Can they work together? I'm not so sure. I think it's going to be tough to stay away from the chasers at this stage in the race. But the great
why do you say that? Because I mean, I know it's Beaugrand and it's 11 seconds, but these two together, obviously Vermeulen's probably the better swimmer over Perriot, but why can't they work together?
Because, well, they can work together, but it's easier when you're behind being chased, or chasing rather than being chased.
Okay.
I think in the water there'll be a slight draft effect, maybe just a little bit, that Cassandre Beaugrand can pick up, and we can see her slightly coming into the picture now, and that's a lot less than 14 seconds.
They're not really helping each other either, to be honest. So we just saw a little stroke of backstroke there from Vermeulen looking behind, but for the maximum amount of drag and to work together, Perriot has to get off the hip and sit on the feet.
You've said it, you've nailed it, absolutely. Sitting on the hip there, you're going to slow down the pace of Vermeulen. She really wants to just drift back a little bit and get on her feet, but we can see Cassandre Beaugrand now, the cadence is high. She has such a perfect open water stroke, and she's really nearly pulled back that deficit that was, 14 seconds when Leonie dived into water, another 3 seconds back to Vermeulen. But Vermeulen's still swimming hard here now, but I sense that this group is going to come back together again.
Yeah, Perriot should have taken the opportunity at the first buoy turn when she got squeezed out to move onto the feet of Vermeulen, but who am I to criticise an athlete of a calibre of Leonie Perriot, I suppose?
But it's interesting watching Leonie. She's won a World Triathlon Championship Series race. Yokohama, I believe it was, wasn't it? She finished the back of last year very strongly on in Supertri, and just a very hungry, but also now very confident athlete, having come off that win in the World Triathlon Championship Series. And she's just enjoying her race now. You can sense that the confidence has grown as she comes up alongside Vermeulen at the moment. But these three here with Cassandre Beaugrand, Beaugrand has a swimmer on her feet, potentially is a little breakaway group in this final stage.
Yes, we shall see exactly how this transition, or the run into transition, breaks things up. Beaugrand now is looking to overtake on the inside. There is one more buoy to turn left, and these three are just all fighting with each other, which really helps the athletes behind and brings them up as much as possible onto the feet as Beaugrand now swamps Perriot, and they all look for position around the... Actually, Perriot's had to sit up now because Beaugrand swum over the top of her as they try to find position for the last left-hand turn. And that brings the Brownlee athlete behind, who I think is Liv Matthias, into reckoning as well. So no chance to work together, and then all this group is going to come. It's exactly what we want, isn't it? We want racing like this. And a group together. But if it's a running race, Beaugrand's got to back herself, even against Perriot.
She hasn't picked the best line. And, you know, if we look back to the World Championship final in Torremolinos, when she went off course by 100 metres, I'm not sure I'd want to be on Cassandre Beaugrand's feet. And I think Leonie Perriot might just be a little bit peeved there, because I think Cassandre Beaugrand went off course slightly and then swam into Leonie Perriot. I mean, very difficult when you're in the water actually to see what's going. But this is a small course. It's 300 metres. Water conditions are really good, as Cassandre Beaugrand now just exits the water for the last time.
Yeah, well, it turns out to end up being 4 or 5 seconds there, because you can see Perriot coming out fourth, and then Lombardi just behind her. Lahare's had a better start, and then Taylor Brown, and then a gap back. So this group, big bikers in it, can work together to stay away and decide between them who the podium will be. Vermeulen in second position. Up the stairs goes Perriot and Matthias, who's looking for her best result. Lahare wants to tack on the back. Taylor Brown's probably not got the sharpness that she's had in previous seasons just yet in the season. Still got racing to do. And Fulliger wants to tack on. She's in 8th position, 4 seconds further back to Anima, who took some serious time in that one as well. She started quite a bit further back than 20 seconds. So she's had another big swim.
Yeah, it's almost like Beaugrand has just kind of like woken up and just thought, no, hang on a minute, I'm not ready to lose this race. And she's trying to get a bit of an advantage here as she comes into transition. She's got Vermeulen hot on her feet though, and I'm absolutely intrigued to see what happens now on this last bike leg and run leg, but it's going to be absolutely fascinating.
Well, the time for talking about it is over. Now we've just got a bike and run and some of the best athletes in the world going head-to-head in the heat in front of a big crowd here in Toronto. The first Supertri ever in Canada as well. Supertri League. We have been here for E before in Montreal where it was -20. A little bit different now. 30 degrees here in Toronto, and Beaugrand's leading from the front. Her bike handling skills have improved in leaps and bounds over the last couple of years. She spent time living in the UK, and that probably helped with the constant rain, I suppose. And she's gotten a lot better at handling the bike. Perriot there as well, and Vermeulen, and these three have stolen a little march on the rest.
Yeah, this is an interesting stage now, but that looks to be Yon Leher, who's not giving up either. I mean, she's a little bit far down the field, I think, to... Can she outrun?
Well,
yeah,
we've seen her do it before. She's seen her do it before.
Yeah, so now let's have a look. Lombardi wraps up the top 5 there. So she's ran herself back into that as well. Georgia Taylor-Brown a little bit further down. I think we'll see Georgia Taylor-Brown coming strong later on in the season, but she's not race sharp at the moment.
But someone who is Beaugrand, and Perriot, who has seen the front of plenty of races in 2025. And Vermeulen will be very, very happy with where she is sitting. 24th in the Paris Olympics. Had some experience with Supertri at E back in April. But there are some nervous athletes out there and some nervous managers as well. So why don't we speak to all three of the managers with an athlete in the fight right now. They're all with Adam.
Tim, Brownlee Racing here, right up the front, and this is so exciting now. This could go anyway.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got the short shoot and no one else has, so that's a fantastic move. But the women are really, we've got 3 in that lead group, and that's crucial for the team points. It's numbers at the front, so I'm really happy. It's all, they've done it all, so great work from them.
John, you're watching Brownlee Racing, you're watching your older manager there, Tim, but you're doing so well in this event. You've got racers up there. How are you feeling about the finish now?
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. Look, we built a great team. I'm going to give Tim some credit on this. He helped us with our debut season last year and established the foundation for podium racing. But now we're in full control. We've got the right athletes, we've got the right tactics, and I'm really proud of the team today.
Right, and why not? The two of them, no love lost between them, and a good point is made. Jolien Vermeulen gets to go into this run against probably the 2-class runners in women's short course triathlon in Beaugrand and Perriot, but she's got maybe a 3-second advantage that she'll take on that one lap of the first lap of the run, which is 2 kilometres now. So it's just a straight up head-to-head over 6 or 7 minutes between the 2 French women, and now Vermeulen and this other group coming back up to them. He's right though that it's all about the team race, which is the big prize packet, $350 grand US for the winning team.
It's a lot of money.
It's about having bulk athletes at the front, and at the moment Brownlee has 3.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is just fantastic racing to watch. Leonie Perriot never won a Supertri race before. She's going to be thinking about that, and she's going to want the victory here today. Interestingly, she's gone head-to-head with her teammate Cassandre Beaugrand and outran her in Yokohama. So what's going through her head, I'm intrigued to know. But Vermeulen, such a brilliant finisher, and she is not going to give up right until the end. That girl is going to give 100% to this last run. And let's not forget, Will, they got 2 laps on the run now this time round.
That's right, so it's twice as long on the run. Don't discount Yon Leher, and don't discount Emma Lombardi especially. We saw her doing some really deep strides in the warm-up for this one. Maybe that she'd warmed up a little too much. She's now moving up towards the front. And Taylor-Brown as well, who attacked the bike familiarisation yesterday like no one else in the field. She really got stuck in during that hour they get to test the course, and that is showing now as she starts to lead this race. Hasn't really been much of a factor in the first 2 stages. She lost 15 seconds in the opening stage, and now suddenly she leads this race. The only athlete to have won 3 Supertri titles, and she's done that in 6 seasons. So you know exactly how good the dual Olympic medalist is and continues to be at this level of racing.
Tell you who's really impressed me today, Jess Fulliger, though. She just got to work on the run a little bit more, and it will come. But she was way down at the back of the swim. She was the last up those stairs, and she's right back in this now. The run is going to be difficult for her, but I think Jess Fulliger will be happy with her racing in this first race here in Toronto. But great to see GTB out in front. But this is going to be a great run, Will. And I can't really call it, but I think my money's got to be on Leonie at this point.
You know, she probably has the recent run pedigree, but so many of these athletes have had blistering runs on their day, and it could be anyone's at the moment. But let's get through transition first. A group of 7 up the front, and a first win and a lead in Supertri 2025 on the line. Taylor Brown makes the dismount before the turn, runs her bike around the bottom end of the course. A couple of them ride it around and get off just at that point. And Lombardi's had a very, very it's Beaugrand.
Yeah.
Beaugrand's had a very tardy transition, so she's decided to stay out of danger completely and decides to come in, back her run, just make sure there was going to be no mistake. She'll come out a couple of seconds back and she'll need to run them down. So Beaugrand, slow in transition. The Stars and Stripes athletes well off the back, coming in now, and it's Vermeulen, who won stage 1, up the front in stage 2. It's a 2-lap run, and there's Beaugrand.
I tell you what, Beaugrand does give herself some work to do, doesn't she? She's so talented, though. She can pull them back for sure, but she really hasn't given herself a good start on these last 2 laps of the run. Vermeulen, though, we said, had she blown it in the first stage? Doesn't look like she has, because she looks full of running at the moment.
All right, well, no one will be more upset about a tardy transition than Michael Gilliam, so maybe we should speak to Michael Gilliam. He's with Adam Leach right now.
Michael, you warned us we were thinking about that a bit too early, and sure enough, you're up the front.
Well, we're not there yet, but we're on cue to do this. I'm really hoping for 1, 2, 3. Leonie Perrier could be the problem, but so let's see how it fares.
Well, he knew better than us, because Beaugrand has completely erased that 6-second deficit and moves into second position behind Vermeulen, and she's going to move straight past Vermeulen and into the lead. So in 400 or 500 metres, Cassandre Beaugrand has stolen 6 seconds on some of the best runners in triathlon, and look how strung out that is now. Lahair, it's not going to be her day. Matthias and Fulliger are stuck together as usual. Lombardi is putting in the big ones to try and catch Cassandre Beaugrand, and there is a little bit of top-end speed in Georgia Taylor Brown as well. Vermeulen's impressed me, but can anyone catch Cassandre?
Is Cassandra that confident of her ability? I mean, we know what a star she is. She has massive lungs and heart, she really does. But she gave away 6 seconds there, and I think she kind of knew she could pull it back, and that's why she didn't rush the transition.
Well, she's certainly done that. She's going to come in through the black carpet 6 seconds in front of the group, and this is a 1 kilometre run, and they're the best runners out there. Lahair, and now Taylor Brown's fading somewhat, and Lombardi's trying to hold on to the top 4.
Oh, it's tough for Lombardi, it really is. 4th in the Paris Olympics. She so often is the bridesmaid to Cassandre Beaugrand, but another French athlete, though, who's causing her a lot of problems today, Lombardi, is a very in-form Perrier. I thought Perrier would have a bit more against Cassandre Beaugrand, though, to give.
I can't say enough about how impressive that is. Vermeulen takes a short shoot, moves into second spot, right behind Beaugrand. Now she knows she's sitting there as a debutante at 31 years of age and sitting on the shoulder of the Olympic champion with 1 lap left to go, and she's sitting in the box seat to steal this one from Beaugrand. If she can just hold on, but Beaugrand, does she have another gear? Does Perrier manage to run it up? And Lombardi with a chocolate medal in her grasp as well, and Vermeulen hits the front. Now the 3 together, the 2 French women and the Belgian on debut. Perrier finished 7th last year, finished 6th the year before that. Beaugrand, so accustomed to winning. Lombardi and Lahair from Luxembourg used to be France, so if you count her as a French woman, 4 French women in the top 5 and a Belgian. And Vermeulen, she said she might have gone too hard. Masterstroke from Tim Don to give her the short shoot, and she's starting to gap Beaugrand now. There's a little gap now. She's gone too hard early, Beaugrand.
Oh, this is bold, this is brave, this is gutsy against the Olympic champion, Will. I can't believe what I'm seeing, and I'm surprised that Cassandre at the moment doesn't seem like she's got any more to give. And just look at Vermeulen, her debut here in Toronto. What a fantastic first performance at Supertri.
Now she's starting to put a little gap on Leonie Perriot as well. The question is, has she pushed too hard? Lombardi could even move up to Beaugrand now. Maybe Cassandre forgot that it was 2 laps on the final stage. Vermeulen now 5-6 metres ahead of Leonie Perriot. And Perriot will know she needs for this season to make sure she finishes in front of Beaugrand as well. She'll be thinking half behind her and half on the win. Vermeulen, though, nothing to lose.
It looks like she's got another gear yet to go. It really does. You can't see a lot. You can't see the pain because of the glasses, but the cadence is there and the arms are swinging. She's still got a bit more to give. There's another sprint in there, I think.
This could be one of the top wins in Jolien Vermeulen's career, ahead of Perriot, a last start World Championship winner and the Olympic and World Champion in Beaugrand. And with one turn left to go, she's going to head onto the black carpet. Lombardi's looking at Beaugrand for a position on the podium. But we're going to go back to the front and we're going to see Jolien Vermeulen, the winner in stage 1. Not many picked her for this one in such a class field. She's stuck in there in stage 2 and she is going to win on debut in Toronto. The Belgian Vermeulen winner. Perriot second, Beaugrand holds off Lombardi. What a run it was from the Belgian. Perriot couldn't do it, she takes second. Beaugrand in third and Lombardi, well, Leher manages to gap Taylor Brown in the end, picks up a top 5. But Brownlee Racing, Tim Dodd takes the win from his old team, Podium Racing, and numbers up the front for Crown as well. Fulliger has a lonely run at the back end to finish 7th, Matthias in 8th. Those two so evenly matched and so strong on the bike. Big crowd here enjoying their first taste of Supertri racing in Canada, and Spivey's been brave all day and finishes around 50 seconds back. As the first Stars and Stripes athlete, who'll have some work to do in the men's, no doubt about it. Annika Koch finishes just nearly a minute down. And then Tilly Anima, who's left her mark on this race, Annie Emerson, in the swims, sticks around for an 11th on debut.
Yeah, listen, it's not easy to come here and race for the first time. This is, I think, the toughest racing, short course racing there is in triathlon. There's absolutely nothing like it, and I think we'll see a lot more of Tilly over the season.
Susanna Michalitskova finishes in 12th and last after 4 of our athletes were eliminated, but everyone finishes within the 90 seconds to avoid the elimination that would come. Obviously, they wouldn't get eliminated on the finish line. We'll head back down now to Adam Leach and some very happy managers.
Tim, what an impact you've had on Brownlee Racing. The first women's winner for Brownlee Racing of a Supertri League race, and one of your new recruits. Absolutely incredible performance.
Yeah, I'm not sure we've had a debutant win in their first race, so, you know, it was a real team effort, though. You know, we managed to clinch those short shoots, and we worked together on the swim and on the bike. You know, Jess Fulliger, she was so dominant on that bike. She's a class above, and it all came together. But let's take nothing away from Leonie and Cass. You know, everyone had to work so hard. It's going to be an exciting season, but I'm really happy for the Brownlee Racing women's team.
Well, it was almost a perfect story, really, John. It was written in the stars, the two of you, your two teams, and Leonie Perriot. What an incredible show of strength from her on that last run.
Yeah, so proud of her. I mean, she's a world-class runner for sure, and she's coming off a WTCS win. We knew that she would have the legs for it today. This is a very unique format with the eliminator format, so all the athletes had to adjust kind of in real time to make this happen. I'm super proud of Jean clawing her way back as well, and we have a big part of podium racing is giving next generation athletes an opportunity to race at the top, so couldn't be more proud of Zuzana and Sophie as well.
Just a really quick throw forward then to this men's race you've got coming up. Another winner, Tim?
I mean, wouldn't that be nice? But, you know, I mean, this is just such a strong field. You never say never, but yeah, let's just go and watch it.
Well, thanks both. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, the pair of them, they were a little animosity in the week, but now having put a win in the bank and a second placing as well, great starts and all is forgiven. Tim Don, the master of engineering race victories, and an unlikely one in terms of the quality that was behind her, but on debut, and we think the first ever to win on debut, Jolien Vermeulen, and we can't say enough good things about her. She's going to be a force across the season, and it's good to see fresh faces winning in the crucible of Supertri racing, especially here in the heat. We'll head down and hear from her right now.
Jolien, a debut win, absolutely incredible. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. Like, I didn't expect that because there's so many good girls on the start line here. Like, it's a Flemish thing, and we say they're not pancakes. Like, they really know what they're doing. Yeah, and after the first race, I thought, well, maybe this is just a very, very bad tactic from me. But I'm happy it wasn't, and I'm so happy just that the team did so well, and also huge congrats to Tim, our team leader, because he does so much for us, and he made sure that everything was in place at the right time and that we could perform at our best. So it's great to be here.
And on that last run, what was the thinking there when you made that big overtake? Did you think you were going to be holding on at that point?
Well, the overtake was in the short shoes, so I thought, how many seconds would that make? And I just crossed the mount line or the dismount line together with Cassandre. But yeah, I didn't know. I thought, just run as hard as you can, and if they overtake me, then they overtook me because they were better, and not because someone had a bad race. So.
Well, many congratulations, an incredible win. And let's bring in Leonie here, who made such a fantastic race of that. Leonie, yeah, congratulations there. That last run as well, wow, you really pulled out something special.
Yes, I am very happy for my performance. The Supertri is very hard. For the finish, is very tired, and Jolien is very happy for her, for the big start for her. Yes.
You've been in some great form as well. Have you come into this Supertri League series thinking maybe this could be your year?
Yes, Supertri is amazing train, is amazing ambience, is amazing race. I am happy for my performance, but for the podium racing too.
Well, many congratulations, Leonie. Very well done. We're just going to bring in Cassandre Beaugrand here, the Olympic and world champion. Cass sort of started really hard. You smashed the second stage, and then just that overtake on the run there, you couldn't quite get back.
Yeah, actually I had such a bad start. I think obviously we're on the outside, so we knew it would be a bit harder on the swim. We're fighting a bit more maybe. I think, well, we did better on the next round. And yeah, the goal was just like to bring the team at the best place possible today. And I tried my best to come back. And yeah, I actually thought it was just one lap at the end of the run. So I was a bit like at the end struggling, but it was my fault, so that's okay.
Well, it's still a tremendous performance, Cass, and a tremendous race that you all put on. So congratulations, well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, there you go. We thought she might have thought it was one lap. She went out so hard, and that was exactly what happened. And it would have been a bit of a shock to the system that you've got an extra kilometre. Anyway, we look back at how stage 3 shook out, and Cassandre Beaugrand sort of muscled her way into the front of the swim and pushed Perriot back to about 4th position with a couple of Brownlee athletes in between, Vermeulen being one of them. She had a strong start on the bike, and there was a trio that was joined by another 4 or 5, including 3 Brownlee athletes, 3 Crown athletes, and a couple of podium athletes in Perriot and Lahair. Tardy transition from Beaugrand. She thought, I've got 1 kilometre to do. I'll run all my way to the front, and I'll run this way. And then she turned and realised that she had a second lap to go. The short shoot was taken by Jolien Vermeulen, who sat on the hip, and then Beaugrand didn't have enough to go with her, and she'd measured her run to stay ahead of Leonie Perriot and take a win on debut in Toronto, lift the yellow tape, and Perriot was very, very strong to finish in 2nd position as well. And here are the splits as they were. It was about a 13.50 in the first, 16.50 in the 3rd stage, but that's with an extra kilometre on the run, so they are quick out there. 3 Crown athletes in the top 6, 3 Brownlee athletes in the top 8 as well, and then podium racing. So Stars and Stripes are going to be behind in the teams overall, with every individual point going into the team's pot for the big prize. Spivey was 9th and Koch in 8th. And we're going to head down now to Adam, who has the 3-time Supertri champion, Georgia Taylor Brown.
Well, Georgia, even with all your incredible Supertri experience, how hard was that one today, coming back into this type of racing?
It was really hard. The first race was a huge shock. I was dead last out of the water, so that was not a great start. But to be honest, I finished 6th, so I can't be disappointed with that after such a terrible start. But it was just brutal. But I mean, it always is. But yeah, I don't have the speed on the run. So yeah, it's just hang on for as long as you can and then see what happens.
Well, this isn't it for you in this Supertri League series, so is there some work to be done, and what do you think you might go away and focus on before you come back again in Jersey?
To be honest, I'm quite happy because I really wanted to focus on my transitions, and I actually think my transitions were quite good today, so I'm happy with that. But I definitely prefer the enduro format, just like getting boshed out. But no, yeah, I've got 2 more Supertris to come, so hopefully they can just get better, because yeah, how they started today was not great, and they definitely got a lot better throughout. But I absolutely loved it, and the crowds were amazing, and just to have all the support, it really does help when you're burning up and suffering.
Well, you're the most successful Supertri athlete of all time, Georgia, so I'm sure we'll see you back on the top of the podium soon. Well done.
I hope so. Thank you very much.
That is 1 down and 1 still to come. There are storms and lightning forecast for about 4:30 local time, which is in about an hour 15, so we'll be at the back end of the men's race. But it all looks clear right now, and we've got some debutantes, we've got some Olympic champions too. Alex Yee is back in the house after his 2:11 marathon. He is back to triathlon for Supertri. Chase McQueen leads the Stars and Stripes charge, and he's going to be under a bit of pressure as well, as they haven't scored the points they probably would have liked to score. John Reed and actually Taylor Reed are both in that podium team, and there is Jonny Brownlee, your favourite athlete, Annie, I'd say.
Oh, always my favourite. Such a great guy, but let's not forget he's got a gold Olympic medal, a bronze and a silver. I'd love to see him do something. He's only had 1 victory on the Supertri series, and that was in Singapore back in about 2019, I think, Will. But he says he's in great shape, so it's going to be exciting to see what he can do here today in Toronto.
Yeah, it will be indeed. Reese Vanason, one of the youngsters we're really looking at to lead Stars and Stripes as well. Big names coming up.
The medal presentation for the Supertri Toronto women's race.
So it is time for the presentation for the women, and Brownlee will be on the top step. 3 teams represented as we head down now to the black carpet once again.
The medals will be presented by Stacy Buzlowski, Supertri board representative. The champagne will be presented by Jeff Jong, founder of the Toronto Triathlon Festival. In 3rd place from France, representing Crown Racing, Cassandre Beaugrand. In 2nd place, also from France, representing podium racing, Leonie Perrault. In 1st place, and the 2025 Supertri Toronto champion from Belgium, representing Brownlee Racing, Julian.
What a moment for Jolien Vermeulen, who stands between 2 of the absolute stars of short course racing and is a star herself as well. Stacy Boguslavski, the daughter of Leonid Boguslavski, the founder, and herself a board member lives here in Toronto, and the athletes getting the champagne, and the athletic brewing can as well, so it's choose your own adventure on that one as these three wait for the champagne spray. And what a race that was to kick off 2025. The shoes come off and the spray happens, and Jolyon Vermeulen is your championship leader. That is so good to see. Cannot wait for the next one in Chicago. We now look forward to the men's race in just a few minutes' time, and they are very, very happy to be back racing.
From Stars and Stripes, we're coming for the top step. We have a good group of different strengths and weaknesses, and I think we're going to bring out the best in each other. Good cohesion, good teamwork. Yeah, we're coming for the top step.
A new venue, so I think that's going to be exciting. There'll be a lot of unknowns. We're all starting on a level playing field with not kind of knowing the nuances of the course, and then hopefully it's going to create some really exciting racing.
I think we can expect a team that's committed to doing the best we can, and this is the winner from last year. We got the crown, so I think we want to keep the crown, so everyone's going to work very hard to try and get that win.
I'm looking forward to just having the opportunity to be a captain for the first time. I'm just going to do my best to facilitate the best performances for everyone on the team, hopefully including myself. It's a great series, so it's a privilege to be a part of, so really looking forward to it.
All right, no time to waste. Let's get straight into it with Brownlee racing first up off the top, and that big name there, Jonathan Brownlee, three-time Olympic medalist, and alongside him, if you don't mind, the reigning Olympic gold medalist as well, Alex Yee, making his return to triathlon for 2025. Ollie Conway and Marcus Day are the two youngsters. Look for Marcus in the swim, and Oliver, big raps on him. Johnny said he's the future of British triathlon when I was speaking to him last night. Stars and Stripes Racing, well, they've got big work to do, really. And Reece Vanderson, a World Cup winner now. People talk about him as a great runner. Now he's a great, accomplished all-round triathlete. Chase McQueen leads this team, the former Supertri League world champion. John Gore Lehman, who is always a force, especially in the swim. And Mathis Beaulieu is the local Canadian here. And Parker Spencer, big raps on that kid. Podium racing, Kenji Nina is the team captain. Taylor Reid has tasted podium success last year in 2024. Came into the final in third position, actually. The other Reid, John Reid, the American as well, back. And Alberto Gonzalez Garcia, the Spaniard, is on debut. And finally, a very new look Crown Racing for 2025. A lot of the names are gone. No Vincent Louis, no Henry Schoeman, no Hayden Wilde. Instead, it's Vasco Vilaça, who is the favourite leading this one. Tyler Mislachuk, back here in Canada, gets a run again in this team. Ricardo Batista is on debut, and Charles Paquet rounds out Crown, and we'll head down now to Adam once again.
Michael, you had some returning favourites in the women's, but your men's team for this year is a very new look team. Can you talk us through it?
Well, basically we had to make some changes with the team. This year we'll be using nearly 14 athletes to get through the series due to clashes of dates, so we had to work something out, and Tyler was available. I wanted to bring him back, one of our old champions, won it for us 2 years ago, so that was good to see. And of course Vasco, our main hope, and then we're blooding two young rookies, so we're pretty happy about it.
Let's talk about Vasco. He's probably the favourite. I think he is undisputedly comes into the series as the favourite for the title. How do you see his progress this year?
He's got something to prove. He's been the bridesmaid. Now he's got to be the big one.
He did that smile that he does when he's got a few tricks up his sleeve, Michael Gilliam. And this time it's Crown who gets the inside. So it's a random draw that happens the day before in terms of pontoon positions. This time Brownlee is on the outside. They're the ones who are going to take the longer line to the first buoy, and Crown on the inside. So the hopes are switched around. And you would say probably Vasco might be one of the guys who, yeah, he's been there or thereabouts, but he hasn't managed. Well, he's won one last year.
To lose,
but apart from that, he's been sort of, the bridesmaid in a lot of ways.
Still think he's going to win.
Yeah, well, it could be this time. And there is plenty of nervous energy. They've watched the women, they've watched the carnage, and now it's time for the men to go. Let's get it on here in Toronto. Clean start this time, and it's the big body of Marcus Day closest to you, and he's a super swimmer, and he's going to have to swim across the front of his teammates and across the front of everyone else. And in the middle there is Chase McQueen with a bilateral breathing, allowing him to see on both sides. And what he sees on the far side is that there's no one with him from Crown.
Wow, what a start from Marcus Day. I chatted with Jonny Brownlee yesterday and I said, what do you reckon? He said, I don't reckon we got a good position on the pontoon, but Marcus Day is going to be the swimmer to look out for in our team and in the whole field. And look at him attacking this
He's not even on screen.
No,
he's off his screen.
No,
See his feet.
He's gone. He's absolutely gone. He's got Chase McQueen just on his left-hand side. Let's say that again. Yeah, left-hand side to him. So Chase McQueen may be a little bit surprised at what's going on here, but he'll have an idea of what Day is capable of in the water. They're both, of course, fighting it out for the short shoot, but it's getting a little bit grey, slightly choppier now on the water, so that's going to make it a bit more tricky, but it's flat out to this first buoy.
Can't say enough about that swim from Day. We saw the Brownlee athletes, and there's some good swimmers amongst them in the women, struggle to get across. Oh, not Brownlee, sorry, Crown. And then now with Brownlee on the outside, Day hasn't had that problem. So if you're just joining us, you don't know what the short shoot is. It's a little shortcut that can be earned at the end of the first swim, bike or run and taken on the first run. We saw it deliver the half chance that Jolyon Vermeulen needed to get onto Cassandre Beaugrand's shoulder, I guess, in the last lap of the run, and that's what delivered her the win. So we know it's important as McQueen and Day head to head, working to head back down towards the final buoy. But Brownlee won all three of the short shoots. They were only allowed to have one, but they stopped the other teams from winning the other two. And the first one up the ramp will win the short shoot in the swim for the men's. At the moment, Marcus Day and Brownlee is in the box seat for that one. And we're going to hear from the managers throughout, and we're going to hear from Tim Don throughout if his athletes keep doing well. Let's hear from him now. He's with Adam.
Well, Tim Don eagerly watching from the bridge here. Tim, can you talk us through what you're seeing?
Wow, the swim's really changed. They're really swimming into that headwind. It's that chop on the water. It's a lot harder at the front. Got Marcus Day and Chase McQueen, two of the best swimmers in the sport, leading it out. Looks like Chase, unfortunately for Marcus, has got the inside line. But look how compact they are. This is a real physical swim. I mean, this transition is going to be crucial in that first lap of the bike.
Thanks, Tim.
He's right, though. Inside line in that buoy, and it's only a little short swim into the ramp. Will give Chase, I guess, the box seat to pick up that Stars and Stripes short shoot.
Yeah, I'm loving watching Chase here. He came into the swim wanting to win it. He knows that on paper he is one of the best swimmers in the sport. And Day looks like he's slightly tiring now. He had to work really hard to come across the water after that not brilliant position on the pontoon. Charles Paquet up there as well from Crown Racing, who's making his debut here in Supertri in Toronto. But have a look at Day here. He's not giving up, is he? He wants that short shoot for his team. And Chase McQueen getting a little bit ducked under as they came round that last buoy.
Well, it's head-to-head. There's about 20 metres to get onto the ramp, and these two are both fighting for that short shoot for their team. Can Brownlee do it again? It's a little burst of speed from Day, but McQueen matching him, and there's going to be a bit of argy-bargy, Taylor Reid, Matt Hauser style, as they head up onto the ramp, and Day is trying to push him out of the road, and he's just pushed him off there a little bit too. Day picks it, and no respect for McQueen. Paquet comes out of the water. John Lehman's there, Reid's there as well. Gonzalez Garcia, the first of the podium athletes. But there you go.
And he got his shoot on super
quick. Yeah, you're right. Gonzalez Garcia, quick too. Lehman in fourth. Vilaça sitting in there as well. So he came out of the water ninth, turned in about fifth. He's had a good one. Reid off the back. Brownlee at the back. Alex Yee, 11 seconds in adrift. So we saw the favourites, or the big names, I suppose, struggle in the early going in stage one in the women's, and the same things happen here. But Day, I like that from Marcus Day. He's like, I don't care who you are.
No respects. Well, he got, I think, probably team orders from Don and Jonathan Brownlee as well to say, listen, if one place you can help us, it's going to be in the swim, and he did exactly that. It was brilliant to see. Helmet goes on, fidgeting around a little bit there. He doesn't have quite the experience as some of the other athletes have, and it's all a bit scrappy in transition now.
Well, Gonzalez Garcia at the best of transitions of the front runners and moves from fifth into first position. Nina at the back, Reid at the back as well. Yee Well, his little run to transition, he was 11 seconds back out of the water, 5 seconds now. So he's picked up 6 seconds in that run to T1, and that is crucial. You can see him at the back of shot now as Gonzalez Garcia tries to steal a little march on the rest. McQueen sitting in there behind Day. Nina, head down, still hasn't got his feet in the shoes.
Well, this is interesting to see because this is a big group of athletes. Who is prepared to work on the front? Notice that Jonny Brownlee's a bit of a casualty of that transition and the run up the stairs as well, because he's right at the back of this pack. And that is Alberto, oh, is that John Reed just coming round there? Will, I think it was. But this is a big pack, and Jonny Brownlee, I think, is going to be able to get back on because they're all here, right? The whole start list, the 16 athletes that went into the water are in this big group. Very unlike the women's race.
Yeah, but the group's strung out and the pace is right on. So it's going to be work for these athletes at the back. Let's not forget it's the eliminator format. So 2 athletes at the back end of the run in the end of the first stage. Is 1 lap run will be cut. And at the moment, it's Brownlee in the crosshairs and John Reed as well. But we know Johnny's one of the greatest on the bike. I think probably the one with the best bike handling skills or the most renowned is Vasco Vilaça. He's moved up into 5th position as he negotiates this course. But Gonzalez Garcia ahead of Ollie Conway, who's having quite the bike ride as well, is now 1 back. Day there as well. Vilaça, Chong-Or Lehman, McQueen, Charles Paquet, and Taylor Reid are your top 8, with John Reed back 9 seconds and Jonny Brownlee still 3 seconds off the back in the second lap.
Oh, he's going to have to give it everything. He's going to have to dig really, really deep, go deep into the red to get back on. The athletes working really hard. They're no formation though. They're all just kind of fighting for position, working pretty hard, but it's difficult to see what might go on here, Will, because I'm not sure if anyone's going to be brave enough to attempt to break.
So a debutant up the front for Tim Don and Jolien Vermeulen in the women's. Now there's one for John Anthony. Let's hear from him.
John, what an incredible start. This bike from Alberto Gonzalez Garcia, incredible. Is this a surprise to you or not?
You know, we brought Alberto on board and this is his debut for Supertri. This is what we mean when we say giving new athletes an opportunity to race at the best, because we can clearly see that Alberto is on top of his game and he's prepared for this kind of format.
Preparation is what it's all about, and Vilaça now in that half a lap has moved up from 5th position into the top spot. Chong-Or Lehman, the Hungarian, is there as well, and they're all fighting for position, as you say. And there's Jonny Brownlee, who's fighting to stay in this race, the owner of Brownlee Racing, and the most recognisable face out there, maybe, with the exception of Alex Yee.
And it didn't look like it was bad out of the water. I think what really caught him out was the run up the stairs and into transition. And this is something really new that we're seeing in the sport. The first time I think I've ever seen athletes had to put the trainers on to get to the transition area. But with Vasco Vilaça on the front, that's going to make it really difficult for Jonny Brownlee to get back on. Vasco Vilaça, for me, is one of the best cyclists in our sport. He looks so comfortable and smooth right now at the head of this field. And I'm just wondering tactically what they do now. This is not a course that really lends itself to a break. The only opportunity you might have is the 2 180-degree turns that we've got, but otherwise it's going to be pretty difficult to get a break.
Yeah, I think it's less about, in Supertri racing, it's a little bit less about trying to get a break and more like trying to stay on your 2 wheels and have a good transition.
Absolutely.
You know, just have a good transition, and the gap back to Brownlee is getting bigger. So unless he has one of the greatest runs or 2 athletes in front of him don't, and Vanderson's one of the ones at the back there and he's a renowned runner, then we could see Jonny Brownlee going home early, which is something I don't think anybody wants to see in the sport.
No.
He's so respected and loved by everyone, all of the athletes and all of us as well.
Yeah, and we don't have really any weak runners in our men's field today. Taylor Reid is an athlete who's a great swim biker, but he's been on the podium before in Supertri in London.
He's had a big bike here too. He's moved up into 4th.
Yeah, and I look at our start list and all the athletes are on it, and there are no weak runners. So Jonny Brownlee has not had a great start here in Toronto, and the shoes are off now. Oh, the feet are out rather, as this
Well, they aren't for Vilaça. Vilaça's take on. No, he has managed to slip out of his shoes there. And Vilaça's ready to, he makes the turn on the bike. He knows how to handle that thing. And it's about getting the shoes on. And Jonny Lehmann's faster. And Conway's there as well. Batista on debut is there. And Marcus Day tacks on the back. Mislachuk is in danger. He's 6 seconds back. 6 seconds covering the top 14. And Mislachuk is trying to find Marcus Day. And Reid and Brownlee are in all sorts of danger.
I mean, this is the most exciting, but the most brutal men's racing I have seen. They have been absolutely flat out from the start, as you would expect, but they are all absolutely on it. And we can see Jonny Lehmann there. He's an athlete that's raced once before on Supertri, but one that I really believe has great potential in this style of racing.
Stars and Stripes need a big result. Parker Spencer is their manager. Let's hear from him.
Parker, what a debut this is from Jonny Lehmann. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, he's one of the most consistent athletes that we've seen in the world over the last couple of years. That's why I really wanted him on this team. And for him to just get the short shoot like he just did against guys like Vasco, that's exactly why I have him here.
Yeah, the first time that not Brownlee has won a short shoot. He just managed to sneak over the line, and Alex Yee now leads this chasing pack. So we know what Yee's run pedigree is like. And Lehmann almost feels, I feel like he almost looks like he's running with a little limp, but he's so quick. He looks behind him and sees Alex Yee and Vasco Vilaça.
He's not an athlete that looks smooth on the run.
No.
He's not, even when he's flat out and doing really well, he tends to look slightly awkward, I think.
Vilaça needs to win that short shoot. And he's going to need, well, he's not going to, because it looks like Lehmann is way too far in front, and he's going to come through at the end of stage 1, having picked up a second short shoot, denying the other team. So Brownlee and Stars and Stripes will have the little shortcut to be handed out to one of their teams, and Lehmann looks behind. We wonder how deep he is dug. We'll get him to talk to Adam after this one. And Alex Yee, well, welcome back to triathlon. 2:11 marathon runner Alex Yee runs past the crew, finishes in second from Vilaça. Conway's had a great result. Charles Paquet, Taylor Reid, Matthias Beaulieu, Ricardo Batista there as well. Gonzalez Garcia and Kenji Nina, your top 10. Vanison only just managed to stay in touch, and that is something nobody wants to see.
Oh, he will be so mad with himself. It'll be interesting to hear his race debrief after this.
I'll tell you what, things have changed for Tim Don. He's only going to have half his team in stage 2, with Marcus Day having won a short shoot, finishes last of all, finds the bike in the run too hard, and Jonny Brownlee out.
Bit of a battle in the swim, but we'll see how it goes in the second one.
Oh, it's hard to watch, but it is what it is. The next generation is always faster. And Jonny, at 34 years of age, has found things a little tough. And we're going to try and get a word with him if he's got any oxygen inside his body left whatsoever. And this is where we send Adam forth and ask him to be brave like he had to with Cassandra. Let's hear from Jonny.
Oh, Jonny, that looks so tough out there today.
Oh, I think I made every mistake in the book today. Oh my God, I think I tell we get my shoes on how to swim, tell we get my shoes on the bike. Oh, that was awful. That's how to make it hard for yourself, isn't it?
I mean, is that the problem? Is it just the little mistakes, you think, rather than the fitness or anything like that?
Oh no, I'm fit. I just, you can't afford to do that in this kind of racing like that. You know, I probably spent 10 seconds to get my shoes on out of T1 and with a 5 out of T2, so I can't do that, yeah.
Well, it happens to the best of us. It makes us all feel better, right? When you win 3 Olympic medals, you just can't quite get your shoes on.
You're a second off on any of that. It's going to cost you so many percent.
Oh, it doesn't make me feel good. I tell you what.
I just took all my energy. Like, how was it bad? Mate, every time I look down, I was doing 600 watts.
A little bit of a chat between the next generation. Every
600
time I got out there, I was doing 600 watts. That's never happened to me.
Have you ever pushed 600 watts?
For about 4 seconds, one time.
Oh my goodness me,
According
those
to
are big
Strava.
watts.
We're going to look back and see how the short shoots played out. And that, of course, is that nice little shortcut. The first one was won in a bit of argy-bargy between the Brits and the Americans. Look at that. And it was Marcus Day who's just asked for no quarter and none was given as well. McQueen relegated to second. And that was the way it worked out. And then a really good transition from Csongor Lehmann, the Hungarian, managed to just oust Vasco Vilaça, who had led in to that transition. And that was close for Michael Gilliam. And then Lehmann, after that transition, managed to hang on and hold off Alex Yee, denying Brownlee the third, Vilaça and Ollie Conway the top four. So that is how it shook out. So Brownlee with Tim Don and Stars and Stripes with Parker Spencer will both be allowed to choose an athlete for a short shoot, and hard to go past Csongor Lehmann, who is with Adam right now.
Csongor, that was absolutely incredible for your debut. How are you feeling after that one? Did you give it full gas or have you got a bit left in the tank?
No, I hope I have some left in the tank, but you know, there are 2 more rounds, so it was really nice, but the next ones will be even harder, so let's see what left.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Got to appreciate all these athletes taking the time to talk to Adam.
Adam's working hard today, isn't he?
Yeah,
he really is. I tell you what, Csongor Lehmann, I mean, it's not totally unexpected to me, I think. What an incredible performance so far, but a long way to go. Yeah, still 2 stages.
Yep, Alex Yee heading back down. He's got to have his shoes in his hand to make sure you take him back down for the next one. And let's have a look at the official results from stage 1 as the athletes continue to trickle down back to start stage 2. Csongor Lehmann 2 seconds back from Yee. Remember, every second counts with a pursuit start for stage 3. Vilaça 3 seconds back. Conway in touching distance as well from Paquet Reed. Beaulieu is your top 7. Jonny Brownlee eliminated, so half a team for Brownlee Racing, and John Reid just stays in the fight for podium racing as well. Hoping for more from Reese Vanison, who'll start 12 seconds in arrears in stage 3 at least. Here we are again, back to the pontoon, and it's always a wrinkle or two, Annie Emerson, and this time no different, and no super swimmer in day. So Alex Yee and co will have to try to swim across the front of podium in this one.
Yeah, good start for Conway, making his Supertri debut racing for Brownlee. So he's still in there with Alex Yee. And I noticed when Alex Yee came across the line, he looked pretty smooth. He looked very chill. Didn't look to be breathing too heavy. So I'm really excited and pleased to see Yee back after that incredible 2 hour 11-minute marathon in London.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the last one for him either. 30 seconds till we kick off. And just speaking of Ollie Conway, Jonny Brownlee said to me that he was the future, or the big hope, I suppose, in British Triathlon. You look back at his last 3 results. Won a World Cup in June, won a European Cup in June, won another European Cup in May, and now he's sitting here in 4th position. So he's certainly starting to put the results together. We've got 5 seconds till the start of this one, and it is time to get underway once again here in Toronto for stage 2 of the men's. We're in 1 athlete slow from Crown on the far side, and the 2 athletes now only from Brownlee Racing closest to the screen. A much more, I suppose, composed start or equal start. McQueen in the middle there in the white cap is the one that's slightly ahead and trying to, I guess, come across a little bit. That's Alex Yee, second closest to us, just kind of caught up alongside, I think, Kenji Nina.
Yeah, it seems that it seems a slightly more relaxed start. I think once they've got stage 1 under their belt and warmed up a bit, they tend to relax into it a bit. But that
or they're
said,
just shattered from stage 1 and they can't go fast.
But that said, they will be swimming pretty quick out to this first buoy. It's just 300 meters. They're going to be doing that in around about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Slight chop now on the water, which, as Tim Dunn said, when they turn round and head back to the exit, they get a little bit of chop on the water and the wind in the face, and that makes it a bit more tricky. A Crown Racing athlete now in front. I'm just having a little... It could be Baptista. He's a great swimmer. I think it's either him. We've got Vasco Vilaça and Charles Paquet and Tyler Mislichuk as well.
Could be Paquet in the swim, I think.
The water
now he gets close to the camera. I think we're looking at Charles Paquet there, and he's really turning it over and trying to create a little gap, and he has nearly a length on 3 chasers who are all kind of trying to climb over the top of each other to stay in touch. And we're going to get a little bit of insight from Parker Spencer, and he's with Adam Leach as they watch the swim unfold.
Parker, you've got Chase out the front normally in the swim, but there's a lot of competition out there at the moment. What are you seeing?
Yeah, it looks like that there's someone from Crown going around the second buoy right now, but Chase is always right up there near the front. Also, Schansger had a very, very good first swim. And then my 2 young guys, they held their own, which was great to see, and held their own out there in the first round on the run as well. So I feel really good about where we're at.
Thanks, Parker.
All right, Paquet off the front then, so compact as well, as the swim conditions have kind of deteriorated across the course of the day, and I suppose that sometimes brings people back together a little bit.
Yeah, this group really sort of pretty much all together now. We had a little bit of a burst from Charles Paquet. I'm sort of slightly surprised to see Chase a little bit down the field, but just picking out now the stars of the racing suits of Stars and Stripes. Alex Yee slightly towards the back of the field, but he's an athlete that tends to really nail the transition. So even if he does get slightly towards the back of the pack here, I imagine that this big group is all going to come into transition together.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Yee 11 seconds down at the end of the first swim, which was at a frenetic pace with Marcus Day, but then by the time they got to actual transition, it was only 5 seconds, so he managed to run down half that gap or more, as Paquet is now joined by one of the podium athletes out the front there as well, who looks to overtake and take the lead up the ramp, although he's on the outside, like we saw Chase McQueen have the inside line. Didn't matter at all when Marcus Day just muscled him out of the road.
I wonder what kind of words he'll be having with Chase McQueen later on in the day. I mean, the fact he got eliminated maybe might make it a bit easier for him, but...
Well, Chase has been caught up in a couple of incidents before.
He
not
has
mentioning
indeed. Not mentioning
names,
any names.
Alistair Brownlee.
Was that little dunk in the water in the in
some little one?
Some little pond somewhere in Leeds.
Somewhere, I think it was. Yeah, that's what's gone is gone. What's past is past.
Yeah.
Alistair, if you're listening, sorry. I'm super scared of you. Up the ramp goes podium athlete first, and that is John Reid, who's having a better start. Paquet it is. And then Batista in fourth, Jongo Lehman, Vilaça, McQueen, Reid, Mislichuk, Nina. The 10, Vanison, and then Yee's 10 seconds back. Let's see what happens when they get over the mount line. Beaulieu as well, 10 seconds back. There's only 14, of course, with 2 athletes eliminated, if you're just joining us. And there's the back of the pack.
There is definitely an art to getting on the trainers when you've just been vertical or horizontal in the water. You come straight out and you've got to go be down again to get the shoes on. And Reid's nailed this one, but then you've got to get up the stairs. They're slightly slippy. You've got to watch your footing, and then it's down the other side. But Reid's done a good job here, and I think it helps when you come out of the water and there's no one else there. When you've got 14 athletes trying to grab trainers, it's made it a bit slower for some of them.
No short shoots on offer in stage 2. It's just pure racing. That's all been one and done. And Reid has a really good transition, and he's going to find himself out front and on his own. And hopefully Gonzalez Garcia, his podium teammate, can bridge up to him. The rest all come out in a big rush. Reid's lost a bit of positioning. That is Taylor Reid. And then Reese Vanison is off the back. But the 2 podium athletes at the front, and Lehman working hard ahead of a Crown Racing trio to try and bridge the gap back up.
You see how frantic it gets in transition and coming out, and that is because something that the athletes know is that 2 athletes are going to be eliminated. The run is so short, and if you're not on this main pack, we're just looking at Reese here now, just really struggling to get back on. If you're not in this main pack, we saw what happened to Jonny Brownlee, and it's day over, really.
Could be a return of fire for John Anthony over Tim Don. 2 at the front at the moment. Let's find out.
John, you've got 2 athletes out the front here. Are they able to work together and stay away?
Yeah, I mean, John had a great swim, right? And we've talked a lot about team tactics. When you race for World Triathlon, it's all about the individual. You get into this format and all the dynamics change. So we're going to watch some team tactics unfold right now.
He's good at being a team manager because he says stuff, but he doesn't say anything.
He's stoic, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
really
just saying stuff, but not giving anything away. There's going to be tactics, not telling you what they are. There could be anything. Anything could happen. Anyway, those 2 there, and Vilaça and the Crown Trio are really pushing in, and they're gapping Vanison.
Oh, it's hard for Vanison. He's such a great runner, such an athlete with such a bright future. I know his mum's come all the way from Dallas to watch him. And
both his parents are here, actually, yeah. Yeah, and look, he's a World Cup winner too, so he's no slouch at all, but he's finding it going very, very tough here. Gonzalez Garcia now at the front. Reed's come back to the pack, and it's Batista and Vilaça who are pushing for Crown Racing. Mislachuk's finding it a bit tough. Nina and Reed, and then quite a gap back to Vanison. It's 8 seconds.
I think something that Jonny Brownlee said is like, I made a couple of mistakes. I'm fit. I know I'm fit, but you make a couple of mistakes in this style of racing and it's all over. It is so quick. I'm so impressed with what I've watched today with these guys. It's almost like Supertri has got up a whole nother level of intensity and pace. It really has. And this is our group here. We have 13 athletes here, so 2 will go from this pack. Reese Vanison looks to me like he's going to be one of them because he's nowhere in sight yet.
Yeah, and there's a chase onto the back between Mislachuk, Beaulieu, and I think Kenji Nina to not be that other athlete. They'll know Vanison's off the back, and one of them's going to get eliminated as well. There's obviously the run to go as well. It's just 1 lap in this one.
So it's Gonzalez out in front, and he's an athlete, finished 8th in the Paris Olympics. So we know what he's capable of, and he seems to be loving his debut Supertri race here in Toronto. Mislachuk slightly dangerously at the back there with Chase McQueen as well, and Chase doesn't want to be there because Chase's run is really his weak point in triathlon racing. Great on the bike, great in the swim as we saw early on, but he needs to move himself up a bit if he's going to stay on for the next stage.
I feel like we might be having a little foot race between Vilaça and Yi, who is in a much better position, a much better position to put time into the chasing pack. Of course, he finished 2nd last time around, so he's already in the box seat in terms of the pursuit start. And you're right, McQueen's dropped to the back there.
How does he do it? How does an athlete go away and train, hundreds of kilometers or a couple of 100 kilometers a week? I did hear he was still running and swimming when he was training for the London Marathon, and he picked up a little injury there, so he must have had some time out, but he's come back into Supertri racing like he's never been away from it.
Yeah,
it's so impressive to see.
It's funny because you kind of think, oh, a marathon and Supertri are completely at opposite ends of the spectrum. But when you're running 3-minute kilometres for the marathon, it's pretty much the same thing. It just goes for much longer. He's just running at the same pace, which is insanely fast the entire time to run at 2:11. And he'll probably do another marathon at the end of the year as well. So we haven't seen the last of him at that end of the spectrum. But right now he's sitting in 3rd position behind Vasco Vilaça. And of course the times from stage 1, they still count. So Chongol Lehman, who's sitting there 4th wheel, is actually one of your clubhouse leaders, I suppose, when it comes to the pursuit start, as he and Alex Xie were at the front the first time around, and a little touch nearly between Gonzalez Garcia and Lehman. And then a couple of podium athletes at the back, Reed and Kenji Nina ahead of McQueen and Mislachuk, who's racing here at home. The bike is done, 4 kilometres in the bag, and a 1 kilometre run now to wrap up stage 2. Out of the shoes, hops Vilaça. So neat, done too. The gold bike from last year is gone for Alex Xie. He's gone for the silver. Guess he needs something to work towards, doesn't he? He's had a great transition and he is out. Vilaça tucks in behind him. How good was that? No, it's lost no sharpness, Annie.
How good was that? How good was that? It's his composure in transition that blows my mind, because there is so much to think about, so much going on, and he just nails it every time.
Wow, Mislichuk's just gone straight past Reed and McQueen, but you're right, he just looks composed. Look at that. The run also looks composed. Nothing showing on his face. Nothing really showing on Vilaça's face either. Lehman is labouring, I suppose, a little bit. And Conway sitting in fourth again. So a great debut for the youngster, the 20-year-old. And we'll head back down now to Adam Leach as Alex Yee disappears off the front.
Tim, Alex is a canny racer, isn't he? He's kind of sat in there and now he's pulling away. And as if he needed any more help, you've given him a short shoot.
It's quite funny, really. Everyone's been talking about Alex Yee, the Olympic champ, hasn't done a triathlon all year. This man turns up and he performs. I expected nothing less than what he's delivering. He's so diligent with his preparation, with the style of racing. He is absolutely on it.
He just looks like he could run at that pace all the way back to the hotel, you know, and then around the hotel, and then back again. Whereas Vilaça, I mean, he's sticking with him, but you know Vasco is putting in the hard yards. He's breathing heavy, and he could go like that as well. I don't want to take anything away from him, but Alex Yee just looks like he's running at half the speed, but he's faster than everybody, and that's just the physiology and the training that he has, and he's really putting the hard yards into everyone else. Mislichuk's had a great run to limit the damage there, and Conway's hanging on the back too. Oh, not the back, hanging on the back of the top three.
Yeah, great racing from Conway. You mentioned earlier, Will, there, what he's achieved so far this year. Big gaps happening, though. Looks like Chase McQueen is going to be a casualty this stage.
Yeah, it does look like that. It looks like 2 Stars and Stripes could follow 2 Brownlee athletes out, while the other 2 teams will have their full complement of 4. Confirmation that Chongo Lehman, for the Hungarian fans out there, has the other short shoot. So Lehman and Yee will be your short shoot athletes. No opportunity for one for Crown Racing, but at the front of this one, and the cream rising to the top. One of the favourites for WTCS Racing, Vasco Vilaça, comes in behind. One of the favourites for every race he ever goes in. Alex Yee, Gonzalez Garcia and Lehman, 3rd and 4th. 2 debutants, in fact 3 debutants, with Mathis Beaulieu having a great stage too. Ahead of Mislichuk, who has improved, and McQueen gets shown the red flag of elimination. And so does Reese Vanassen, who is pushing all the way to the end. His family's here, a little shrug, a little smile, and it wasn't his day today. The World Cup winner in Chengdu managed to sprint away there from Shachar Sagib, the Israeli athlete, and show his class and development. But this wasn't his day today. 31 seconds back. Join Marcus Day and Jonny Brownlee on the sidelines, watching stage 3, which is coming up in just under 6 minutes time. Well, after all that wash-up, Annie, how do we feel? Who's going to win this one?
Well, you're not going to put your money anywhere else but Alex Yee.
Well, you're wildly biased towards all Brits, so there is that.
Why wouldn't I be? Come on, let's be honest.
I get it.
But Yee is looking totally majestic. He looks like he hasn't been away from triathlon for a day, and he looks absolutely amazing. Another athlete, Chongo Lehman, I think, is looking really impressive. Love watching this guy over the years. Under 23 world champion in 2021, trained by his father, Tibor. So great team they make. So I think it's going to be very interesting between Chongo and Vasco and, of course, Alex Yee.
Yeah, we can see the team managers there as well. They can help out during transition. You can see Parker Spencer back of shot there, just getting the rubber bands ready. We saw John Anthony putting some insoles into some shoes there. We'll head back down now to the black carpet and to Adam.
Vasco, how are you feeling about this one? How are you placed?
Full of adrenaline right now. You can see my legs shaking. I can see Alex is very strong. Let's see what he has on the last one. I'm gonna go all out now.
And how have you paced this one? Have you been trying to go save a little bit in the tank?
There's no saving at Supertri. All out always. But now, more than 100, let's go 110%.
I'm just going to
good luck, Vasco.
grab some of these people. He's gonna grab the tights up.
I got to say, I love that guy, Vasco Vilaça.
I love that guy.
He's had a little chat before. He might have missed it. He might have been in a break. Doesn't matter. He's 110%. He said he's going to give it now, and he's going to need that if he is going to catch Alex Yee, who just did look supreme. Majestic, as Annie Emerson said just a second ago. We'll get a confirmation of the results from stage 2. And Alex Yee was just a little bit too good. Vilaça, well, looked for a second like he's going to be the only one to go with him, but Chongo Lehman had a good ending, managed to cover the gap from Oliver Conway. Alberto Gonzalez Garcia 5th. Mathis Beaulieu had a good stage 2. The Canadian here at home, followed by another one in Charles Piquet, and another one in 9th. Tyler Mislachuk as well, 18 seconds back. Taylor Reid, Ricardo Batista, and then McQueen and Vanison, the Stars and Stripes pairing. They were 2 of the, I guess, favoured athletes to come into this one. They have both been eliminated. So we set the stage again. We're expecting some inclement weather. We don't see any of that at the moment. Here we are, though, ready to have a look back at how it shook out. And it was a little bit of a battle in the swim, Annie. And then in the end, it was John Reid who came out first of all. And he had a great T1 with his shoes on and ended up extending that lead. But soon enough, it was podium teammate Garcia who took a turn at the front. Then Velasquez's supreme bike skills. But Alex Yee tucked in and then accelerated away to win stage 2 and just send a bit of a message to his main rival in this race, Vasco Vilaça.
Okay. How many
Time then to take a look at the graphics in just a second, but before we do that, Annie, you're gonna go with Alex Yee for this one. How does he do this? Does he play a tactical game?
I think he has to be tactical. He just has to play this swim carefully as well. But he just nails it every time. What can I say?
Let's take a look at the results then that lead us into the pursuit start. Alex Yee will start first of all. 2 seconds back, though, Vasco Vilaça. So those two are going to go head-to-head, and Chongo Lehman on debut. He's only 3 seconds back. Ollie Conway and Alberto Gonzalez Garcia, your top 5. And it'll be a long wait for Ricardo Batista and John Reid, who have to wait 20 and 24 seconds, respectively, before they can get their stage 3 underway. First across the line is the winner. These are how the short shoots were won. If you don't remember, there was a bit of push and shove, and Marcus Day won the first short shoot for Brownlee Racing. And they have started to run out of athletes to give it to. There was a little bit of a mishap at the back there, but at the front, it was Chongo Lehman who took the short shoot on the bike to pick it up for Stars and Stripes. And then he'd do the same thing on the run as well. He held off Alex Yee in the first, who was probably holding a little bit back in reserve because Brownlee already had a short shoot, and he stopped Vasco Vilaça from picking one up for Crown. So, time for the pursuit start then, and we see Alex Yee going off first and everyone else chasing the Olympic and world champion who's making his debut triathlon for 2025. And as you say, it's like he hasn't been away for a day. Vilaça goes in, then Lehman follows him 1 second. A 5-second wait for Ollie Conway, the 20-year-old. He goes in. 3 seconds back, you'll see Gonzalez Garcia hit the water now. He does. Then Beaulieu and Paquet, the 2 Canadians. Nina has to wait 5, and then Mislachuk and Reid, your top 10. But out the front and maintaining a body length, Alex Yee.
So we were talking earlier on, actually, Will, about how they can seem to be quite far behind, but when they dive into the water, there's definitely a little bit of a draft effect, even if you've got someone 6-7 seconds, and we can see already the gaps were big diving into the water, but they've already come back together, and that's not because Yee's a slouch in the water, but because there's been that sort of draft effect, and gradually, one by one, they've been able to pull him back again.
Well, we're kind of lucky that Jonny Brownlee got eliminated, because now we get to hear a little bit of his analysis. The great man is with Adam.
Jonny Brownlee's joining us on the bridge here. Jonny, can you talk us through what these swim conditions are like out there?
Well, it's pretty nice out there. There's not a lot of current. The water's really clear. You can see a long way. And it's about 22 degrees, but to be honest with you, when you're going hard, you don't notice that anyway. But that's pretty warm, and But as you see now, it's all coming together. So it's actually all going to come down to a one-off last short triathlon, really. But yeah, it's a beautiful place to swim.
Yeah, it's pretty hard when you think of a one-off short triathlon to see beyond Alex, right?
Especially Alex with the short shoot, definitely. I think he's a favourite. And he's seen so far he's raced really well. He's stayed near the front on the bike, good transitions, and obviously we all know he's got a very fast run. So I think the longer it goes on, the more it's going to suit him as well. And the fact that he's got in the first in the swimmer here means that if someone like Songa wants to come around him, and he's going to slow it down a little bit. So I don't think the swim's actually going to be that fast.
Thanks, Jonny.
Thank you very much.
Good to hear from Brownlee. Reed, and I think it's Reed, no, Gonzalez Garcia, who's taken a little bit of an interesting line, has to rethink his way around that second buoy as they head back again. But Jonny was right. So Lehman's come up onto Yee's shoulder. Those are the two who have the short shoot, and it really keeps the door open for Vilaça and then other athletes to start pushing up onto the back of them and create what's going to be a fantastic end to this race.
Yeah, absolutely. Lehman for me as well. He's a bit of Vermelin, who won the women's race just over, what was it, like about half an hour ago, a bit longer now. He's so strong at the end of a race. There's just something where he pulls something out extra that you didn't imagine that he would have. That's not to say he's going to beat Yee. I don't think that anyone's got a chance with Yee with the form he's in here today in Toronto. But I think Lehman's going to have a great race. I think he's going to make the podium. Interesting, Jonny said he reckons this is all going to be one big group. I think he's probably right. Looking at them now, they've all come back together again. We've got 12 athletes left in this race. The stairs have proved to be a little bit of a problem for some athletes, so let's just see how they go in T1 here. But I think he's probably right, Jonny Brownlee, and who is going to argue against the Olympic champion when it comes to race analysis. So I think it's going to come down to a foot race for sure. I think Alex Yee's going to be ahead of it.
Lehman wants a clear way up the ramp and to head out of the water first. Yee sitting on his hip right now, and then we're three abreast with, I think, Gonzalez Garcia is in there, and the other Brownlee athlete, Ollie Conway, who's there as well. Mathis Beaulieu is doing the job for Stars and Stripes, and Velasquez there in the red. And yeah, but everybody's still in it. Mislachuk sitting off the back there and looking for a better way around, going a bit wider as they head into the last buoy and getting pushed there, Lehman. Yee wasn't going to make room for him, and now Yee's going backwards a little bit as Gonzalez Garcia swims over the top of him as well. But Alex Yee's been picking up 3 or 4 seconds just on the run into the black carpet from the ramp. So getting those shoes on again when your feet are wet, very, very costly if you get it wrong. You can't win it there, but you can lose it. And Jonny Brownlee certainly was testament to that.
And I have to say as well that Tomo's been pretty strict about those rules. Shoes have to be on, otherwise you get a penalty or a DQ, I think it is even. So
yep.
Parquet just coming out of the water here, this group all pretty tight together.
Gonzalez Garcia had a good transition. Lehman too. Yee's there as well. But again, a good Stars and Stripes debut. Conway's a little further back than he has been. Mislachuk there. And then Mathis Beaulieu, the youngster as well for Stars and Stripes, hanging in, hanging tough.
Well, this is where the athletes do start to feel it. Of course they do. This is their two more, a bike and a run to go, and they're on stage 3. So this is where they start to feel a little bit cooked, although Alex Yee looking as smooth as he did into the start. And the great thing about coming out in front here, even though he's a second or 2 ahead, he's got a clear transition, so he can be very smooth out of transition. Yeah.
That was smooth. Lehman's going to be with him though, so they can work together. Gonzalez Garcia had the best bike last time. Taylor Reed's in better position, and Velasquez there too. So there's some good bikers up the front, but with a 2-lap run at the end instead of 1, and then also with a short shoot, everything's pointing in Alex Yee's direction, but he needs to make it happen. Now we've got an issue at the back there. I want to say that was Ollie Conway, and that's a heartbreaker if it was. Oh, mechanical for Conway.
Dropped his chain, and yeah, that's a bit of a nightmare for Conway. It really is, because
he's been so strong.
Yeah, incredibly impressive, sitting in 8th, just out of the water. But I think he's going to find it pretty difficult. He'll get his chain back on pretty quick, I think, if there's nothing broken. But maybe he was in the wrong, not quick enough. I think perhaps possibly in the wrong gear coming out of transition or something, which meant he dropped his chain. No doubt he will let us know at the end of this race.
He's back on, but he is very upset. I'm just looking at him on another shot, and unfortunately he's back in the race, so that's important. Beaulieu hanging off the back there, trying to work together with one of the podium athletes, while at the front Alex Yee is trying to put the herd into the pack and see who can go with him. Taylor Reid is just a bike length back and trying to make sure he stays on the wheel, and everyone's just trying to stay in it now. It's just a straight up sprint for the finish. The Olympic champion on the front, a Hungarian behind him, working for Stars and Stripes, and then Gonzalez Garcia. So 2 debutants behind Alex Yee, and I really love how the fresh blood, and there's 9 or 10 debutants across the women's and men's field. They've really added something to the racing. Yee, though, looks behind, looks comfortable, makes sure he's not going to turn into anyone.
And I couldn't agree more with you, actually, Will.
Well, that's good to hear.
What has been... Well, it does. I mean, normally we get on pretty all right, don't we? But I think what has been great to see is to see the guys with the experience in here that have raced Supertri a lot, and then these new athletes coming through and learning from the guys that have been around a while. But there's been some great performances here. And we can talk about Vermeulen, who won on her debut, or she raced once before, I think, in Supertri. Or was that her debut? We need to check. I've lost my notes now.
No, she's never raced. She's raced in
E-Sport, that's it. But she hasn't raced actually in Supertri out on the road. So it's been great to see the younger, less experienced, and the debutants racing here in Toronto doing so well today. And it's all about...
at the front, though, sorry, it's Stars and Stripes and Brownlee, so we'll head down now to Adam, who's got the respective managers.
Parker, Chongor here is doing so well, but I mean the big question is when they get to that final run, him versus Alex Yee, they both got a short shoot. Can he hold off Alex?
He's had an incredible year so far, and he's racing really well here. The thing about Alex is obviously he's one of the best. He's a legend. But this is his first race of the season. We don't really know what type of form he's in, so it'll be an exciting finish, that's for sure.
And Tim, rather than ask you about Alex, I want to ask you about Chongor and how you see him, how his development and how he's doing in this race, and whether he's got a chance against Alex.
Well, you never know. I mean, sorry, I didn't hear what you said at the beginning.
Chongor.
Yeah, I mean, he's a young up-and-coming guy. He races aggressively. We saw that. Did he burn too many matches? I'm not sure. They both have the short shoot. 2 kilometres is a lot different than 1 kilometre.
Well, we saw that. Cassandre Beaugrand will tell you that.
Oh my goodness me! That was a schoolgirl error, wasn't it? Thinking she had 1 lap to run and she actually had 2.
Well, happens to the best of us.
It absolutely does. But I kind of think as an athlete, you might have an idea that you had 2 laps at the end.
I mean, we're not counting 12 laps, are we? We're just counting 1 or 2. But anyway, that's okay. I shall read the race pack next time as Vilaça, as he has been doing, leads for the run. And he knows he doesn't have a short shoot, and he doesn't. Well, he has a great run, but he has a great bike, so he needs to come into transition, have a smooth transition, and get out on the run first.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him when he was being interviewed in transition after stage 2, that he said it himself, you know, you can't save anything. You've got to give 100%. He said it's time to give 110%. I don't think he's going to have enough in the bag to outrun Alex Yee, but I think he's going to have quite a good battle with the younger Hungarian athlete, Lehmann, who is making his debut here and actually doing a great job of it, as we can see now, sitting on the wheel of Vasco Vilaça and Alex Yee just behind him.
Taylor Reid, the Kiwi, always aggressive on the bike too. He takes his turn up the front and is really pushing as well. He's another one who knows he needs to come in with every advantage he could possibly have on the run. As we all know, the run firepower that is out there at the moment. But the team's battle after this bike, after this race, it looks so different with half of the Stars and Stripes and half the Brownlee team already eliminated. And Stars and Stripes really relying on Chongor Lehmann, who makes the turn. Comes in narrow on that one, nearly goes too wide, but it was nice in the end. Nice in the end, and Lehman goes in. Don't have to put your bike in rear wheel first anymore. No need for the bike anymore. Now it's just a straight 2K to see who's got it in the tank. Lehman's going to head out first. Yee's going to be bested by Vilaça, Batista and Reed, but already goes past Reed. Beaugrand and Mislichuk. Well, not enough space out there, but Lehman's gone out hard.
This is fascinating, and I tell you what, it's no mean feat to come into transition the way he did. The skill there, considering, I guess, the lack of experience he has in this style of racing. Yeah, he's done a lot of World Triathlon Championship Series racing, but that tight turn into transition, 180-degree turn, still on his bike, gets off it, nails transition, and he's given himself a wee bit of an advantage coming out onto this run. But I think he would have needed a little bit more to stay away from Alex Yee and Vasco Vilaça over 2K.
Doesn't he look like he's got a limp?
He does a bit, but that's
just a bit. He's got a bit of the Lionel Sanders about him.
Yeah, it's a little bit his style of racing, but I tell you what, he shifts.
Oh no, he does. He absolutely does. Whatever he's doing is working for him. We'll head back down to Adam and Michael Gilliam, who's got a dog in the fight here.
Michael, on paper, 2 and 4 looks pretty well placed, but 1 and 3 have short shoots. Is that the deciding factor here?
Yeah, I think the short shoots are going to seal it for a victory for the others. It's going to be a big ask to come back without those short shoots, you know.
Not this one. Okay.
Oh, well, short and sharp, and that's fair enough too. Vilaça's the one who doesn't have it. He's sandwiched in between Yee and Lehman. Gonzalez Garcia is acquitting himself incredibly well, sitting in 4th position, and another debutant in Batista. Reed behind them, and then Charles Paquet in that group of 7. Nina's trying to bridge across, the team captain, and Beaugrand, the youngster, is sticking in there as well, and can't say enough about how well he's raced and gotten better over the 3 stages. Still 1.2 kilometres to go, and Yee muscles up the inside on Vilaça. Great shots there as they make the left-hand turn, and then they make a right into transition onto the black carpet. And a group of 3 chasing Paquet, Batista and John Reed. Trying to chase that front group, but there's too much run firepower there.
Wow, Yee now, though, he's come into the front. He said, I haven't gone anywhere. Might have taken a bit of a break out to go knock out a 2:11 marathon, but I'm still here in triathlon. And they take the short shoot now. Alex Yee and Shonga Lehman and Vasco Vilaça can only look, can't he? As
it hurts. It hurts.
It really hurts.
Now Vilaça sitting in 3rd, and Garcia's pushing up on the back of him. And Vilaça will have to put in the race of his life if he's going to bridge up on Lehman. It looks like Yee might have disappeared into the distance, and now he pushes. Alex Yee running well under 3 minutes. And he's just disappeared on the others.
Did he train for a marathon or did he train for 800?
Oh, man, look at that. It just looks like he looks no different. He looks calm and composed. He's saying, what lap? I think that was what lap? And I'm like, 2, man, 2.
Just keep running.
Just keep running. It's fine. Or what gap? It might have been what gap back to Lehman, which is now about 3 or 4 seconds at least. Vilaça's going to have to try and pick up Lehman to make some extra points for Crown Racing. But all on his own out the front. He has swept all before him in the world of endurance sport. Short course racing's absolute elite. Might end up being the greatest ever. Alex Yee, and we're sad not to see Hayden Wild up there on his shoulder as they went head-to-head last year in the North America swing. But this time it's Lehman doing the job, and he looks like he's going to hold off Vasco Vilaça. Gonzalez Garcia in 4th position, but gaps between them all.
Yeah, it was game over for Vasco Vilaça. It's that psychological advantage you get when you take the short shoot. It's literally a matter of 2 or 3 seconds. Lehman giving it away a bit now how tired he is as he glances over his shoulder. But I've just loved watching Yee today, Will. Look at him. First time he's glanced over the shoulder. He's absolutely flat out now.
Well, just long levers, big steps, beautiful upright position, good breathing, composed face, and Alex Yee's going to do the job. And again, though, the debutants have been amazing. Alex Yee, he's going so fast, he's running away from the drone. And he's looking around, still seeing, and Alex Yee, in what might be his only appearance in Supertri, it is his first appearance in a triathlon for 2025, and it's a win for Alex Yee! He does the job and he does it well. Lehman on debut for Stars and Stripes, picks up from 2, and Vasco Vilaça trips over the line, but it doesn't matter. He's on the podium. And speaking of podium, across the line comes Podium Racing's Alberto Gonzalez Garcia in a sprint at the back end, and Reed holds off for 5th from Batista, Paquet and Mislachuk, who's been tied to Mathsbolu. And Kenji Nina finishes in the top 10, around 30 seconds in arrears. That was tough racing, but Alex Yee, as he has been for the last couple of years, head and shoulders above the competition. You can see what that meant to him as well, coming across the line. He's usually a pretty relaxed guy in terms of letting out the emotion, but there was something there. There was something there for him.
Love watching that. I think he'll be back in Supertri this year. I just don't think he can stay away.
Well, we'll see. We hope so. Obviously, he's been supreme. We can't wait to see Hayden Wild back, and we'll see Matt Hauser back next season. There's big battles going, and across the line, finally, and disappointing, no doubt, for Ollie Conway after a mechanical, getting some support from his teammate Alex Yee. We'll head down now to the black carpet and Adam Leach.
Tim, we'll get you out of the melee there. And what a dream debut for you as Brownlee Racing Manager. You couldn't ask for more than 2 wins. Incredible.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's all the athletes, but it was a real team effort. We got the short shoot with Marcus in the women's race. We got all the short shoots from different women. Alex just does what Alex does. You know, people are asking me, is he going to turn up? And I'm like, it's Alex Yee. He has been training for this race. He focuses on one thing, and that's his next race. And, you know, but he did say it was a tough start, and, you know, the short shoot made a difference. But Toronto, amazing course, amazing.
And Parker, Chongor as well on debut. I mean, one thing to note, we know Alex has been quite open. He's not doing much triathlon this year, so Chongor will likely be in the lead of the series. It's an incredible debut from him as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's everything I would have hoped to get out of him today. Over the course of the last 6 years, he's been one of the most consistent athletes in the World Triathlon Series, so that's why I really wanted him on this team. I thought he could do something special.
Well, he did do something special, Chongor Lehman on debut, just to finish in the same postcode as Alex Yee, and he was close, held off Vasco Vilaça as well. And here's the final moments. He looked composed, and then there was this real burst of emotion. He's back in triathlon, Alex Yee, and he loves it, and why not? Chongor Lehman comes across in second, but how good for Alex Yee, who comes back into triathlon, trains for this one, as Tim Don said. And you know what? Let's go down and hear from the man himself right now, the Olympic and world champion, and now your leader in Supertri 2025.
Alex, it's like you've never been away.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that. It was nice to be back in the fold. I wanted to be at Supertri because I knew that I was going to get 3 opportunities to do a try, learn from them very fast, and I feel like I was able to do that every single one. And yeah, loved every second of it. It's an amazing crowd, amazing venue to be fair, so I'm really proud and really pleased to be back.
I mean, this must be so incredibly pleasing for you to be able to take your marathon training and then be able to turn up for a triathlon and show the top end that you have today.
Yeah, I mean, I think like everyone, you know, you do your first race of the season, you think, oh, have I lost it all? Have I still got it? And yeah, it's really nice to come back and give myself a bit of a confidence boost, but most of all, have an opportunity to learn throughout these racing, learn from these great guys, be back in the fold with them, and yeah, they pushed me to my limit today, so I was really pleased.
Well, congratulations, Alex. Fantastic result for you. And let's bring in Chongor here. Chongor, what an incredible debut for you.
Oh yeah, man, I'm incredibly happy. I did not expect that to be on the podium next to these incredible guys like Alex Olympic champion, so I'm just speechless. To be honest, the first round was really intense. I thought that I'm almost done there, but I could dig deeper in the last 2 rounds, so I'm incredibly happy to be on the podium.
And I guess for you as well, you know that Alex, for example, is not going to be here for the rest. He's going back to his marathon training, as we know. What an opportunity for you. You must have so much belief.
Yeah, I mean, I did not know what to expect. I did a Supertri race like 6 years ago, so now this is a really different field, but I'm really happy how this worked out, and I really can't wait to the next part of the season.
Well, congratulations, and let's bring in Vasco here. Vasco, how did you find it out there today? It looked like a tough one.
Oh, that was a very hard one. The first Supertri of the season is always the hardest. Getting into that pain zone that you only have at Supertri. Shongur and Alex did such a great race. They actually caught me by surprise with the short shoot. Obviously, that's something new, well, new within triathlon. We only do it here. I forgot about that, and I would say I didn't position myself tactically for the last lap, and they got a little gap in from there. They just pushed to get first and second place.
How do you feel about your form generally for the rest of the season?
Pretty good. I don't think I've ever opened a Supertri season with a podium, so that's definitely a good place to be in, and let's work on it from now on.
Well, congratulations, Vasco. Still on that podium.
Thank you so much.
Vasco Vilaça still a threat in this one, and Lehman as well will be strong going into Chicago. As we look back at how stage 3 played out, and there was a bit of a fight there for Lehman and Yi, not giving any room whatsoever, and neither should he. He was still first out of the water, Chongor Lehman, and he's just been great. He's not been on debut per se, but at least for the last 6 years, as he said. Big group in the end on the bike, and it was a lot of Vilaça on the front, who's one of the great bike handlers in the sport. Lehman had a better transition though, and he had some work to do, and gee, did he do that work quickly. Bit of a collision there between Beaulieu and Mislachuk, the two Canadians. Short shoot was taken. Lehman and Yi for Brownlee and Stars and Stripes. And then Alex Yi on the second lap really put the hammer down, and no one could go anywhere near him, and he enjoyed it very much as well. We're going to head down now to the team captain from Podium, Kenji Nina, who is with Adam.
Kenji, talk to us about it out there today. How was it?
Oh, it's like a baptism of fire. It was crazy on the first one. Obviously, it's been a year since I've done this sort of work, and it's an unbelievable crowd, such an atmosphere. I felt terrible the whole day, but I really gave it my all. I got progressively better through the races, and it was great to be back. Super happy to see Alex have a great race as well. He's come from marathon training and came through, and it's good to see him back. I think he's great for the sport. Great to keep people like Vasco and Hayden or Hauser, those guys, competitive. So it's great to have another asset like him back in the racing. So, yeah.
And you've taken on this team captain role with Podium. Can you talk to us a little bit about how that spirit was out there today between you all?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. The team aspect is the most important part of Super League, I feel, particularly for our team. Like, I wasn't having a great day, but we really did just push hard and see what we could get, and even though it wasn't a fantastic result, it was definitely better than what I felt in the first round, and it's just great to see people like John Reed, who's a young up-and-coming athlete, who just excelled today, and the same with Susanna. Like, she has amazing potential. She'll get better on the next one, so it's just great to make it a team aspect of racing, and I'm proud to be captain of Podium Racing.
Thanks, Kenji.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
He's the captain now, but we're continuing our trend from 2024 and having a shirtless Kenji Nina on the telecast, which I always like. 4 seconds back it was between Yi and Lehman in the end, and then Vilaça. So Lehman and Vilaça will be going head-to-head in Chicago. Garcia on debut was excellent as well. Got a feel for Ollie Conway, though, who finishes a minute 16 back. And our eliminated athletes include a couple of world champions there in McQueen and Brownlee, and as also Vanison and Marcus Day. But time now for the podium presentations down on the black carpets.
The medals will be presented by Jeff Chong, the founder of the Toronto Triathlon Festival. The champagne will be presented by Michael Dose, the Supertri CEO and co-founder. In third place, from Portugal, representing Crown Racing, Vasco Vilaça.
Vilaça, as we say, opening with a podium for the first time, so a good start
in second place,
for the Portuguese.
From Hungary, representing Team Stars and Stripes, Songor Lehman.
Big race and big smiles for John Galt-Lehmann, who will go into Chicago with the lead, with Alex Yee sitting that one out.
In first place, and your 2025 Supertri Toronto champion from Great Britain, representing Brownlee Racing, Alex Yee!
A place Alex Yee is accustomed to standing on the top step, and this time representing Brownlee Racing. Led by Tim Don, Richard Downey, and Jonny and Alistair Brownlee as well, and really blooding the next generation of British athletes and showing them how to do it. Alex Yee certainly did that. There is the champagne spray. There is the leaderboard. Crown Racing sitting on top for the team from Brownlee, Podium and Stars and Stripes, and that wraps us up from Toronto.